कृपया ध्यान दीजिए, the language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative. Okay, that disclaimer was far too long. It was half the show, I thought, in that disclaimer alone. And I still couldn't read it because I forgot my glasses. This is Cyrus Says morphed into cock and bull, and from 4 way down to 3. Our enthusiasm is waning, but we've got a lovely guest today. Not guest, she's not really a guest, she's part of the family. But I haven't seen her for a long time and already made boo-boo after boo-boo and embarrassed myself. Her respect for me is even less. We'll talk about her in a second. Along with her, we have that other fellow who's always there who's not shaving and for some reason wears so much. It's 39 degrees. Yesterday, 39 degrees. Today, it'll cross 40. And Silverie is the only person I know dressed like he's going to Greenland forever. We've got Abijit Ganguly sitting far away in Delhi, pretending like he's in Delhi so he doesn't have to come to the studio here. Fair enough. And he's going to tell us about his life. But before that, I have just one complaint here in the canteen. IVM spruced up. It's like the Taj Mahal, no? Fantastic. Everything is new. And I sat and ate my omelette today. And they put a knife and fork and a spoon, old-fashioned, Western style. And I want to change that. It's like religion, anything else, I mean, we've got to change things. After some time, just same old, same old. So my request is, instead of having this left-right thing and all that, can they just put 2 forks and 2 spoons and 1 knife and 1 box and just keep it nearby? I think that's a much better way, because I use the 2-fork system, as I've mentioned before. I'm a 2-fork guy. No pun intended. I'm actually into the whole 2-forky thingy. I just find it easier to eat with 2 forks. And I don't know why, and spoon in the right hand, you're such a barbarian. No, I'm not. I'm an innovative genius. I've come out with a 2-fork system. It's faster. Eat a biryani with 2 forks. See how fast you can eat. Eat Chinese food with 2 forks. See how fast you can eat. Give 2 forks, man, in life.
No.
That's what I say. All right.
Antariksh, don't interrupt, Cyrus. I just want to see where this was going eventually. Like sometimes you have to just let a person, just go on and on and on. And
you don't live in my family. Goes. In my family, they pick on people like this. It's a very anglicized family and westernized family, and they pick on you. Like, how can you walk? How can you put this here and put that there? My good friend Kunal Vijayakar, he's just showing disdain and all. Oh, fork is in the... While eating steak, which is banned meals, don't eat it here. He said, how can your knife be in your right hand? It's in your left hand. I had no idea what hand it's in. So apparently there's a big difference. And you look like a loser in, say, Europe, which we're not in.
But how do you eat rice with 2 forks?
You can.
But why would you?
How do the Chinese, that advanced race, eat with those 2 things?
I mean, sure.
And they eat faster. Have you had a fight with a Chinese guy over food, a speed fight? He'll beat you every day. He'll just use those 2.
No, because
that's their philosophy.
All the millions of Chinese people in Powai. Keeps doing that regularly.
Yes.
Well, there are 2 at least, now, because there's one of your favorite Chinese restaurant is there.
That doesn't mean they're Chinese.
Don't be a racist. If there's not Chinese, if Chinese aren't serving in a Chinese restaurant, I'm not going there. I want authentic. I have Parsis in a Parsi restaurant. Muslim is a Muslim restaurant.
Some Nepalis might be there. That's that most.
You go to a Shetty restaurant. You call a Shetty restaurant Shetty. Look how racist you guys are. Okay, let's go to the Shetty restaurant and eat. That's fine. What the hell is that?
So do you really think all Italian restaurants have just Italian people working?
Have you been to Don Giovanni and Juhu?
We don't have a single Italian.
There was a guy called Carlos Pereira. He sounded Italian, and then the Pereira gave it away. But Carlos was there. I thought it was good.
Yeah, our pizzerias should only have Italian people and Americans in it, but we have none.
Well, I have one Gujarati gentleman who has a strange accent who gives me pizza, but that sounds wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Much like I'd like to have it between 2 forkies or something you said. That was, I think that topped it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but you might think it's funny, but try it once. Just use 2 forks and see what happens. Okay?
I've seen people do that and they haven't been good people.
Just because Putin has once in a while used the 2-fork system. Come on, for God's sake, guys. Yeah. But I wanted to quickly mention, Abhijit, wherever you are in Delhi, I don't know what the weather is, but in Mumbai, there's a heat wave going on and now it's serious.
It is.
Okay?
It is.
Everybody's been complaining about it.
So I wear this because of you keep the AC so damn cold.
You wear this because you were dealing with some issues with your body.
No, it's just...
I as a student of
bodybuilding,
sure.
Don't you have like blisters and all?
Wearing so much unnecessary.
Sorry,
wearing so much stuff. Don't you have like blisters and all? Like, I mean, this is like
no, man.
being
so,
out,
like
wearing so
much. Our AC
Rishi Kapoor hangover
is cold in general. I put this on when I reach the office.
I've seen you at Mike's also wearing denim jackets and everything. You're always really
denim jacket. I've never worn a denim jacket in my life.
Jackets and all.
That room might have been cold, but I've never worn a denim jacket. I think you were talking about the
he has a Shah with a full raincoat in him.
Yeah,
he just won't remove for some reason. Yeah.
But I understand how strange it is. And go outside, it's so hot. You enter the building and
Yeah.
it's immediately so cold.
Isn't that
Like
beautiful?
there's no.
The other way is terrible, but when you come into cold from hot is
That's
lovely.
true.
One of the great things. You
Yeah.
mentioned it. One of you mentioned yesterday, right? On the show, that you pass the shop and you get that
Yeah.
AC wave.
Naveen mentioned, yeah.
Naveen mentioned it. Naveen's, the things that make Naveen happy, other than breaking beds
Breaking
and
beds.
bridges,
Yeah.
are really simple things in life. Like you
Yeah.
pass, when you're on a hot day outside a mall or something, you pass one of the things, the doors open and that AC ka gust comes.
Yeah.
That's the
How many
best.
of us have gone back and stood
Malls.
there
Correct,
unnecessarily?
Man, yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you enter
But it's a
mall,
whole
yeah.
other thing when you wear glasses and you go from cold to hot and your glasses
Oh,
just fog up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
that's a
you
problem.
can't
Yeah.
see for a while. And then you realize that you have a
Yeah.
legitimate disability.
Like
which-
masks. How, like,
Three
still-
people
they
in this
still fog
panel
up.
clearly
They still
relate to
have
it, and Cyrus is just like,
I
yeah, I guess
Cyrus
that
has
happens to you.
spectacles, yeah.
But
You
I
just
got
always forget.
glasses in my 2 years back, and I keep forgetting them.
Have you guys
What's
seen
your
Cyrus'
par?
glasses,
What's your
by the way?
par, Cyrus? What's your par?
1.5, but maybe more now because anyway.
Jeez.
I can't see
No,
anything.
but Cyrus wears
That's
taped
no
up
par.
glasses. Like that-
yeah.
he wears taped up glasses. Like half of the frame
They all
is there's a
keep-
tape
they
on
break.
the frame.
Abhijit, they
because he's
break.
breaking
I'm
his
into
glasses.
I am to not wasting money, so I always try to wear things which are broken, like my marriage. It stays the way it is. I could easily change her for a younger. Well, maybe not.
Jokes you
Talking
can
about
crack when
glasses
you're
or-
not recording from home, Cyrus.
I know.
Jokes you can crack when you're
There's a
not
limit to
recording from home.
comedy.
I
Comedy
mean-
का कुछ limit होना चाहिए ना. No one's going to buy this. You will get a younger woman. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, I mean,
Niveditha's laughing her head off here.
especially when you use 2 forks to eat. That's just.
That's a turn off. That's not fair.
I mean,
I mean,
you do look like you don't know how to use the table
In
utensils.
fact, I
or
find it
whatever.
slightly racist that they have to insist that we put the this and the spoon here. But you say something. You're a Delhi guy, the revolutionary.
No, that is fine.
I'm just
okay.
enjoying you.
Old fashioned.
Yeah.
No, see,
Civil,
I don't.
fashioned.
Correct. I don't mind कि अगर instead of being on the right hand side of the plate, it is on the left hand side, the knife or the spoke. That is fine. I'm just worried about you eating with 2 forks, like everything. Just there is a knife, there is a spoon.
But I actually understand sometimes, how he said he can't use the knife with his left hand.
That's
what
for
you said?
cutting.
Yeah,
No,
flesh.
but
I
knife
should
is
talk
right
about.
hand. Knife is right hand.
Oh, okay. So it is the right hand. It's supposed to be
So-
the
so
right
Knife,
hand.
knife
Yeah,
right
I
hand.
have
yeah.
no
Left
idea.
hand. Okay.
Are you
You
vegetarian?
can cut only with
am-
your right hand.
My lifestyle is, but
you're
I
out-
But are you
experiment.
left-handed otherwise? Like when you
No,
write
I'm
it? Oh, you're
right-handed, which is why I can't cut with a knife with my left
Left
hand
hand, yeah.
because it's
Your
not
dates
powerful
must be
enough.
spectacular. Not today, honey. Hands are tired.
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah, no kebabs
Wow.
then on dates for you. Yeah, just nothing you use a knife with, right?
But
Is that it?
kebabs also the fork.
guess-
The fork works much better, doesn't
Actually, yeah,
it?
it does.
Kebabs
I
is
mean, as
different.
long
Kebabs
as
is
it's soft and you
Yeah.
can.
Guys, why are we talking about cutting kebabs using fork and knife?
Okay. We had a healthy show
Let's
for the
move on.
10 minutes or whatever. It was pretty healthy, and then
Yeah.
boom.
We never bring up the forks again.
Never.
All right, never.
Never.
Let's not.
I stand corrected. It was a waste of time.
Except if
What
we
about
tie
knife?
it back
What
at the
about
end of
knife?
the show, then let's bring it up.
Okay.
But that's to be.
Should I talk about plastic forks? Because that makes no sense.
plastic forks? Are
I
tight.
have broken them everywhere. In
Yeah,
CNBC, they give us these plastic forks and spoons on a dosa. Because why am I using a fork on a dosa is another question. But
Spork. Have you seen a spork?
Yeah, I've seen a
spoon
spork.
fork.
Yeah.
Yeah. There
When a
is
spoon and a fork, that's why I don't keep them together. They get married. Next thing you have a fork. Nobody wants the spork. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Isn't
Fair
that
We've
like
enough.
a
exhausted
I
this.
think.
Star Wars character?
Yeah.
We are,
Yeah.
Our committee of critics is looking down and saying, "Bas
Sorry,
enough."
Abhijit is saying something about Starbucks.
Huh, Abhijit.
Star
Not
Wars.
Starbucks.
Star Wars.
I said Star
Oh, I thought I heard
Wars.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Star
I had
Wars.
coffee. I'm like morning. I need my coffee. Like Starbucks. Okay. Fine.
That's okay.
What do you say about Starbucks?
What is he saying?
Nothing.
You're
Not worth a mention.
Not
I
worth
think
going
we
No,
have
it's not
dragged this
that.
topic
Not worth
far
giving
enough
it
for
time.
us to move on to something else.
The
Like
Star Wars
Okay,
and Starbucks have upped it, so fair enough. We have hit bottom,
I think-
rock
Oh,
bottom. The
man.
level is can only go up from here. Bruce
Yes,
Wayne, you're right.
Yes.
He's a man after my own heart.
Yeah.
He uses 2 forks.
Yeah, he
Confirmed.
Hey, bro, Silverie, I saw Batman. How dare
Huh.
you say good things about that movie?
What are you saying? How dare you say bad things about that movie? dude?
It was the shittiest Batman I've ever seen. What
What
a
are you
shitty
saying?
Batman
so-
that
No,
was.
not at all.
Mother of God,
This
this is
movie
Dude, I've
is
never seen a
divided
shittier
people.
Batman.
one second. Niveditha
Have you
speaks
seen it,
now.
Niveditha? Have you seen it?
I have watched it. Yeah.
And what did you think?
What is your...
I actually understand why
Maybe-
both sides
Okay.
have such.
You're just playing it safe. But Niveditha,
Dude,
have you
extreme
seen a
opinions.
more shitty Bat? Like this was the shittiest
it was
Batman.
very
Like,
good.
It was like It was
End was
like
a little
Neo
long. I
Silverie
agree
would have
with
been
that.
Batman.
I'm
It would have-
recovering
it
from
was like
Niveditha
that.
behaving like the Congress working committee,
Yeah.
discussing
Suno,
whether Gandhi
bhai.
should lead or not. Can you
Dono
give a straight
sides
answer
se-
or not?
yeah. There are good people on
I'm-
both sides. That's the Trump reaction.
Look, I'm on the fence on this one. Like I thought it was very
Hey.
cheesy, but I thought the cinematography
Look,
was
okay,
nice
I'll give
in
my point.
places.
I'll give my
Okay,
point over here.
okay,
First of all,
okay.
okay. Look, Batman is supposed to
Wait,
be like
did you
cool.
sleep through it?
Hey, let
Did you
him-
sleep
let
at any
him
point?
I would
rant. Let
sleep.
him rant. 1 second. Go
I
on.
slept
now.
through
So yeah, please. Yeah, see, Batman's supposed to be a cool person, like a cool character, like in the shadows and everything. And here's like just imagine, no, if four of us are just sat at a dinner table and suddenly there's a guy wearing bat suit, like don't make it that realistic. Also, just he's talking with you about folks, while having like it's just so this Batman who's just in the room with other cops, or they're like a moron, like no, I don't want to go out and stuff like that. It's just like
Yeah.
what the hell happened to this cool
Yeah,
guy?
Can I be
all
petty
makes
for 1
sense.
second?
It all
Since
makes
you
not
brought
even
the
able to
fox
land.
up,
movie.
he
Like,
won't
he's
be able to
not-
pick up the fox with the gloves. It's just not a possibility. I know for a
I
fact.
think he just eats barehanded.
I don't know about that.
Batman-
Don't bring the fox into this. Okay, the fox is over. Sorry, go on.
Okay, sorry, but yes, the Batman, but like, dude, Batman's supposed to at least be able to. Isn't Batman supposed to be on glider and shit and be able to, like, he's not even able to land properly? What the fuck, your Batman? It's genuinely like,
Hey,
dude,
say
hey,
Cyrus or
so
me
he's
would
a
have been
new
Batman.
Batman.
Or,
That's the thing.
Yeah.
He's
One
new at being Batman. He's literally
it's a
2
shitty
years
Batman.
old.
Batman. That's what
Air
I'm saying.
India-
He's a shitty
Air India
Batman.
has
Yeah,
been-
that's fine. He's a
Air
shitty
India has
Batman.
been flying planes
as
for
Batman.
150 years, but it's not necessarily good at it.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no. See, there's a level progression, right? In the next movie, you will see he's a better Batman and better at being
Dude,
a
I saw
detective.
Batman
And in
Begins.
the
I
third
saw
one-
Dark Knight. I saw Dark Knight Rises. Batman
yeah.
Begins.
This is a different
Abhijit's
take.
point is well taken.
Every
Batman
take
has to
of
have
They've
a
already
Batman
done
on
a
Batman.
Batman Begins. The Begins, the transition, the kindergarten
I mean,
Batman
no.
is over. He should be now in college and doing well. This is
No, this
Like,
is
I think Ben
Batman for a
Affleck was
new
better as
generation.
Batman than this guy. Like this Ben
And
Affleck.
next
like
movie
this
you
was
see.
Antariksh, this was like if Batman would have been like a poetry slam guy, like it's just so he's just
Man, it
not
was
cool.
Very
He's
good, yeah.
just-
Like no,
It
no.
was, but I think it was for kids because
you gotta
there
gotta
were-
give us
No,
a
no, it
decision.
absolutely
There
was
were
not for
moments.
kids.
They are one all here.
I can't
Absolutely
believe
not for kids,
people are
no.
saying this
Towards one
Batman
side.
was good.
Lean
I just
slightly.
genuinely, even Ben Affleck was better than this. Like, how can Batman?
No!
be such
Ben Affleck was a
idiot?
fine
Like,
Batman,
just-
but this Batman movie was great. I felt
Dude,
because dude,
Silverie,
you
did you
slept
see that
through
moment?
it.
1 second.
Like,
I
You
slept
guys
through
are not
see,
going to agree.
10
Cyrus,
seconds of it
Cyrus,
in 2 different points.
His point is Ben
Cyrus.
Affleck was a waste of time in any case, and you're saying no, he wasn't. So there's no
Ben
point
Affleck
in
was okay.
discussing this.
I think Ben Affleck was
Yeah.
okay because anyway he didn't
Yeah,
have.
did
the
you,
movies were terrible.
Niveditha,
The movies
did you
were
see that
terrible.
scene in which Batman goes and talks to the Penguin, and Penguin tells him, "Hey, he's to blame for your death of others." And in the next scene, within 5 minutes, he goes to the other guy and he's like, "No,
Yeah,
he's to blame."
Maroni.
And
Yeah.
like within 5 minutes, yeah, how are you such a gullible idiot?
Yeah, not
You're
just that.
Batman,
So
you're an idiot.
I think that one of the funniest things about this Batman was how he kept reading the riddles out loud
Yeah,
and then
correct.
answering
Nobody
them
does
out
that.
loud.
Guys, this is a question of logistics again because they give you what they call a sheet in the morning when you're acting sometimes, and you've not gone through it, and sometimes you miss. Yesterday's sheet came tomorrow or whatever. These things happen. This is not his fault as the actor.
I
It's the
haven't
fault of
seen a
production.
lamer Batman. Like, this is like if like I would have been Batman, it's like my life then. Like, I'm
Chila
walking
chila
around
ke
places
puri
and
movie ka
people are
plot
like,
bata de
get out of
Ganguly."
here.
All I
and
can
stuff
say
like
is
that.
it all
Like,
made
it's
sense
just-
to me as
Okay,
a Batman story.
Okay, that's a good point.
Because-
You're telling the story, and the 6 people left to
Oh, yeah,
see it
correct.
and are
Yeah.
getting upset.
Yeah, that's
Bruce
Oh,
Wayne
man.
himself is criticizing you. He
Yeah.
himself is saying,
Guys,
"Don't
Batman
tell the
dies
story."
in the end. Go ahead.
Twice.
Go watch it.
He dies once and then again after 5
There's
minutes.
supposed to be
because
2
like
more
you said-
movies, but Batman
Yeah.
dies in the end. That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah,
it
but
is,
it's
yeah.
3 hours, so you feel like you
Yeah,
spent
what's
your
with the
money
3
for
hours?
nothing.
That is true.
But can I just
Yes,
say, my
yes.
15-year-old
It's a
daughter-in-law
long
friends loved it, and she's a big critic of because she loves both DC and Avengers, and for her criticisms will be very valid
Yeah,
because
she
taken very
must have been
seriously.
Cyrus. She
Correct.
must have been because of the Robert Pattinson factor. No, like
Beta
because
bhi
of that
majja.
factor only.
Oh my god, I could not remove the whole
So-
Edward Cullen thing from Robert Pattinson's Batman character.
all
He
that,
looked like him
all
the
that. So
entire
these
time.
girls, teenage girls, are discussing that only. They went in thinking Robert Pattinson's the wrong choice, but he sort of converted them to how Silverie said, somewhat not as bad as we thought. No one's saying he.
No,
everybody still
He
likes.
was
I was
as
already-
bad.
I was
Cyrus,
already
he was
expecting it to
as
be a
bad
good
as I
Batman.
thought, and he was worse.
What's the
he, like,
No,
like
not
he
all.
was just
I don't agree.
so
What's the
bad.
Batman
I haven't-
Begins guy?
Christian Bale.
Christian
Christian
Bale is
Bale.
their favorite. Is
Yeah.
that
Christian
fair?
Bale,
Is that
yeah.
fair?
Christian
Dark
Bale.
Knight.
The
Great.
best.
Yeah.
Dark Knight.
Okay,
Dark
so then
Knight
this
series
guy,
was the best.
they rated him second after that, and then
I would.
and then
Same. I did.
Val
I
Kilmer.
named him. I rate.
Dude.
No, you know
How?
what? This
What?
Batman tried to be
What?
funny. I appreciated that, but I
so
wish it
you-
was funnier.
No,
than...
but
It wasn't funny. The movie wasn't funny.
Nivedita,
No,
this
no,
was
there was-
No, so-
unintentionally funny. It was
Yeah,
unintentional.
yeah,
It was not
different.
trying to be
Dude,
funny. It
That's
was just
different.
it
That's
up.
like us.
Yeah.
That's like us. That's not funny.
He
That's
pulls
stupid.
out a
Yeah.
parachute and he like gets
Yeah,
hit.
I
Stop
mean,
giving
that
out
was
the
a comic.
secrets of
He's
this.
trying
This
to
guy
figure
can't
out.
sing it.
Yeah, he's trying
I
to
have
figure out his
seen it.
gadgets, trying to
Then
figure out how
look,
to
Antariksh,
soar through the
if you
skies
can't
in the
land
night.
also, like Batman's whole thing supposed to be he's like gliding and stuff. If you
You're
can't even
criticizing
land,
me about my
you
two
just-
forks,
Hey, man.
Abhijit. My
just
two
call
forks is a
yourself a
big
mouse
issue,
man or
and you
something.
can't get
Just-
over his landing.
I
The
think
man is
also
saving Gotham City.
call
Let
yourself-
the landing go. Jane
movie-
do
Just call
bhai.
yourself a
The
mouse
movie-
man.
Fara kya
Just
hai?
don't-
movie
You're
should have
not
been called
Batman anymore for
movie
me.
should have
Like,
been
it was
called
just like
Vengeance.
Alright,
Not
There's a way
Batman.
to solve it. There's a way to solve it. This is law at its best. Like my teenage daughter and her friends. So you give me the list then. Christian Bale, you all three agree is number one. Then who's number
Yeah.
two? On that will depend this answer.
Everybody,
George
everybody,
Clooney.
George Clooney, Val Kilmer,
No.
everybody
I
has
think
been
Pattinson
better
was
than
number 2.
Pattinson.
No.
Except Ben Affleck.
Dude, they even did
Michael
not. They
Keaton
even
was
did not
pretty
show
great.
his frontal body
can see
because
that.
they know he could
Huh?
not pull
I
it
didn't-
off. So they
I
kept
saw
showing his
Batman. I
back.
saw them.
Like they just kept showing his bare back. Like because they knew that the frontal, it would be evident.
Have
that
you
he's a
seen
motivated Batman.
Singham?
So yeah,
Singham is the same without the
Singham-
mask.
see- Singham, honestly, Singham
Huh.
is also better than this Batman.
What are you
give
saying,
that
bro?
up.
Because he lands
Singham
properly.
is
The
good.
What are
mode.
you
He
saying,
lands
bro?
the van
At least
properly.
he's
Huh.
landing properly, man. Like, how
Brake
can you
apply
be
करके
Batman
track
and
है.
not be able to land? This genuinely is like any. Oh. Because
I would
it's
say that-
Batman.
But
It's
I would say that
Batman.
Superman would be a big issue. So Superman's all about the flying.
No.
Batman is like
Correct. So I see. These are spoilers, guys. So maybe we
Yeah,
should
yeah,
not
yeah.
talk about
Yeah.
this.
All I'm
Because I want to talk about the sequence
Can
you're
I-
talking about. The one with where he
let
can't.
Niveditha end it because she's the one on the fence. Because
Yeah.
otherwise
Yeah.
people
Sure.
have
honestly, I enjoyed the funny parts, although they were unintentional. I feel like,
Don't do
but
that.
I wish it was funnier. I think they could have made this movie super funny and saved.
Give a verdict
movie a
because,
little
like,
bit.
let's say
I think
he's given pro and that's against.
You know what? I think this is up to audiences.
Wow.
Like, we'll have to find out.
Wow.
One straight
Are you
answer.
a
and half
cast
an hour.
member of the movie?
No,
Yeah,
no.
man. Why are you talking like a
Why?
person who's associated with the
Because
film?
Forget that. It's like she's standing for elections. Just won't commit. हाँ hijab है, hijab नहीं है, hijab है, hijab नहीं है. That's your answer.
because that's what it means to be on the fence. You know, you don't know. You haven't
if-
made a decision.
If you're trying to make it that realistic, फिर तो Batman को मुंह पे इधर ये वाला नीचे वाला मास्क भी लगा दो ना. फिर इतना ही तुम्हें real दिखाना है तो like
for
what is
Mr.
wrong with you,
Ganguly,
man?
Yeah.
So the credibility of Batman died, which is a terrible thing to happen for him. Because honestly, if you don't believe in the Batman's performance and the whole credibility of the story and all, then you've killed 3 hours of your life. So that is a sin. But you said you came out looking and
Yeah.
feeling great.
I was really happy.
You
with
acted
it,
like
yeah.
Batman after that, and you landed properly and all that. When you jumped from the first floor,
Yeah, I did.
he did it at the age of 5. He jumped from his
Yeah.
first floor
5, 6, maybe.
because he
What
wanted,
happened to
he wanted to
you?
get
This-
down before his parents.
No, I just.
No,
I
by the
jumped
way,
down,
Niveditha,
keep going
and the
home,
first time he
and
said this, he
you're
said he
fine.
was 3 years old, and every single
I
didn't say
podcast is
3.
increasing the
I-
age
I
to
would
make
never
it
say 3.
believable. So now 4,
Why would-
5,
did I
6.
say
Now
3?
look at him, he's going towards 6. Cyrus, he's hinging.
I don't
towards
think I
6
said
right
3.
now.
Mr. Ganguly, he will reach 10 and he
Yeah,
will
yeah.
also reach the 3rd floor.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
matter of time.
I mean, obviously something happened.
He can be the
jumped
next
off
Batman.
the
no,
because
I
he
was
landed
just-
properly.
I was just going back home. I had a bat in my hand, and I just jumped from.
Wow, bad.
Not like a cricket bat, not like a Batman
Yeah,
bat.
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
But what would you?
So now you're the worst Batman. Now we are clear.
But what did you do it for? Like,
Just going home.
He's Punjabi.
Considering
yeah.
even
Don't ask
Batman
me.
could not land properly,
Everything is
how
not
is this
science.
his fault?
Sorry?
First
Considering
floor,
even
like,
Batman can't land properly.
basically
how is it his
not out of the window. of the
Batman
first
would not survive, Pawai.
It's like-
What are you nuts or what?
From the you climb the first floor staircase. The staircase, I jumped down.
oh my
And,
god.
yeah.
But
Okay.
he was a kid.
Everything.
Like whatever, 3, 5, 6, whatever.
Yeah,
he was a
whatever.
kid.
I'm a kid.
I mean,
Yeah.
what kid does that? I, mean,
I was first standard.
Do you
would have been the
still
highest I
have
would
the
have
urge to jump off?
been. No, I just did. I don't know why. I sprained my leg and I hated
now his
myself.
parents encourage him. Beta,
I
yeah.
found myself very stupid after doing it, of course. But yeah,
Oh, you could reflect as a
yeah.
kid.
Like immediately, I hurt myself. So I have to like now
The
use the bat
motivation
in
is
my
not
hand
clear.
as
The
a
motivation,
walking stick.
yeah. The second part is clear. Ki after that, he acted out like an old man.
Yeah,
For the
Go back
injury and
home.
all that with
Yeah.
the hobbling thing. But why did he jump? That's not clear.
I don't
He
know. I
doesn't know
think it was
himself.
just I just did it like out of impulse. I was
No
like, hey,
wonder
look
you
at this.
relate. No wonder you relate with the Batman who can't land. Like this is all I
And Abhijit, you wanted him
Like
to
the
jump out of the first floor
shit.
after 5 minutes.
This
Oh,
is
what,
making
the
you like a
Batman
shitty
jump.
Batman. Like yeah.
What's the parachute story? Not that we should give away anything.
No, somebody got very annoyed that I said the parachute. But
But there are
basically,
some
he has
gimmicks
an,
which look stupid. I
Yeah,
think a parachute
and
tends
I
to
think
look
they were
stupid.
meant to be. So they
It
were
wasn't
trying
a
to show
parachute,
how
it was a
bad he
wingsuit.
was.
A what suit?
A wingsuit.
Ooh, Batman.
Oh,
huh?
But
I actually.
But it's like a parachute.
Yeah,
It brings it
That's
glides
what
you
it
down
was.
slowly, sort of
Yeah.
thingy. Yeah.
No, but he pulls a parachute like. Okay, you know what? I don't want to
Just
talk
last
about
question. So
this.
Pattinson passes the test or not?
No. They
Yes.
didn't even show his frontal body because he could not. He was so
Hey,
miserable.
Heterosexual male. Stop it.
Arey yaar.
Calm down.
Arey,
Huh?
it's not.
Nidhi, Nidhi.
See,
क्या थे
Nidhi's
निधि
not
भाई?
here. Nidhi's not here. Nidhi's not
निधि
here.
बहन क्या
But-
थे? हाँ.
I
But
don't
the
think
thing
he
is, they
fails.
showed just his back. They kept showing just his bare back because they knew if they show the frontal, I mean, probably he just had developed his
Tone
back
the-
or
tone
something.
the
I
gig.
That Abhijit.
Ghatiya
He's
lagega.
anyway dark, brooding, less is more sort of superhero growing up in comics and in the movies. So it's just showing the back and silhouettes and half cuts and all. Isn't that the way it is?
I
Always?
just thought
No,
all
but
the
he's-
staring could have been cut down by a few seconds.
But the
Like,
staring is also
it's
part of
always
Batman.
staring.
Yeah, it is.
This is generic to all Batman. Yeah.
No,
This is a
but they did it a
Batman-
little too much.
Yeah,
this one.
this is a Batman wanted to be a poet. Like, you know, you can hear him say in front of mics and people going like this. Like, that's, oh God, what
Batman's
a shitty
a
Batman.
lot like my friend Rahul Bose. So there's a lot of staring, and the dialogue can come later. On look. Or Rohit Roy does lovely, he just looks
Yeah,
at you
Rohit
for
Roy's
5 to
great,
7
yeah.
seconds. I want to play with him. Lots
Right.
of staring. The whole play took 3 hours. It was a 1 hour play. Half the time he's like, so what do you think?
Oh.
And the tilt of the chin and all that. Boss, it's not easy. You got to be good looking to pull that off. Anyway, so that's it. Batman
That's it, yeah.
is 1 all.
Yeah,
We couldn't
yeah,
get a
correct.
decision. In
Yeah.
the chat, if anybody's interested in telling us, maybe we can do a count.
Yeah.
A sort of vote.
I have
Everybody is saying
another-
Batman's a shitty movie except Silverie.
No,
Everybody
no.
is like,
Dude, everyone's
Bruce
saying it's good
Wayne-
only. Okay, there's
Bruce Wayne,
no-
just little secret, the guy
Not
called
even a
Bruce
second.
Wayne who's on our show now, he's not really the Batman. I'm pretty sure. I just have this gut feeling. that he ain't the
next
real
movie,
guy.
Batman, Robin.
Wow.
Someone has
romance
said, Sharveen Bhatta said, someone email Pattinson's topless photo to Ganguly.
Yeah. And Robin ka back shot and Batman ka front shot. And then they can cover whatever they need to also, and
Dude,
you're
like
happy.
उनको पता था इतना पतला लगेगा कि they won't be able to justify it, इतना कमजोर लगेगा, so they did not even show it. Like they just like went from the back
I
angle.
find
I
this-
noticed that. Yeah.
I
Yeah, it
find
was
this
so
point
weird,
Abhijit, of yours very awkward in the sense that this is really bugging you that you couldn't see his abs. And I'm not. I mean, you're a
It's not
fan.
about-
Yes,
I
but
could not
maybe
see his
this
abs.
is not awkward.
See,
His,
it's
He
not
didn't have
see-
abs, is
see
what he's
side.
saying.
If
even
it's
his
like
suit
a
looked
yeah,
like
he
an
does not.
armor, like
Yeah.
it looked like
They
he
can
was.
CGI it. Niveditha, you don't need to go and do push-ups. Of course you can. You can put a bodysuit
My-
on. There's so many different
My
things.
main criticism is not that Batman wasn't perfect. It was like Batman is supposed to be cool. At least make him cool, not make him like a.
He's learning
idiot
the
who's
ropes.
just being-
He's learning the ropes.
Forget it. Just
Yeah.
go and see Krish. You'll feel better.
Actually,
No,
Krish
in
was a
fact,
better
तेरे
movie
को
than
abs चाहिए
this.
ना? तेरे को frontal shot चाहिए ना? I'll give you a list
Krish
of
was
films. don't
better
worry.
movie than this. If Krish,
Krish was actually a
against
good
Riddler
movie,
would
but
have been the movie I would have
Not
paid to watch.
as good a superhero movie as this. Yeah, of course not.
Dabang 1 has
Krish-
lots of frontal shots. Will that help?
Okay, take a poll.
Honestly,
is-
Salman can pull off Batman better than Robert Pattinson, I would say. Yeah, you
Salman
know.
is Batman. He's that brooding, not talking too much, except he'll call himself Prem in the middle or something.
Yeah.
Are you going the driving skills route, Cyrus?
And he stands with his hands apart because he can't bring them together because of
Is
all
that
the
so?
muscles. Yeah,
Is it?
that's what it looks
that's
when
okay.
Salman
That's
can't
not a
stand.
problem
think-
Robert Pattinson is facing. He's definitely like this. He's
One
like
second.
a
What you're
engi-
saying is he's
he
not
looks like a
buff. Let me
third-year
ask the
engineer
girl.
student.
Let me ask the one girl we have after so long on the show. Is
I'm
he
the
not
wrong
buff?
girl.
Is he not buff?
Who? Robert Pattinson?
He's buff enough.
He's not buff,
No.
but he's athletic. He's fit.
Yeah,
I'd
So
as
he's
say.
fit.
skinny,
But he's not buff.
lean,
Yeah,
lean,
he's
skinny.
lean. Yeah.
But that doesn't work for Batman. I'm on Abhijit's side.
No, but
You got to be
He
like
looks
a
like a
muscular
Batman.
He
Batman.
looks like a
guys.
third-year
He doesn't have any
engineer student.
superpowers. Exactly.
Who-
That's not good
who's
enough.
No,
lived
but
on-
he's a
who's
great
lived like
fighter
the 3
also.
years
But
on
Kate
Maggie
is
or
always very
something. Like,
muscular, very big,
he's
broad
muscular
shouldered
enough
and
for.
Oh, he's
no, she's
He
saying
was,
no.
dude. He was muscular in ish.
where did they show these muscles? It was
The
just a
man-
back angle.
It was-
The man has
kept
been
showing
going
his
on about the
buff, yeah.
frontal shot missing. He knows what he's talking about.
I mean, he was fine only. It
Huh.
wasn't like
I'll
know
tell
what
you
you're
what,
talking
the
about.
first time when they introduced Batman, I saw that and I was like, that can't
That can't
be
be
Robert
that.
Pattinson in that suit. It's too big. But then, like, I didn't feel it throughout the movie because they didn't, like Abhijit said, I think they handled that well, although he didn't like it.
Dude, he has an emo cut.
it's
He
like-
has a
it's-
emo cut,
like
like
Modern
baal idhar
Family.
tak aa rahe hain. Like, what is wrong
Cyrus,
with you?
have you
You're a
seen
bad
any
boy.
Batman
Modern
movies?
Family.
He's
Have you
I've
seen
seen
any?
all except this one.
You've seen all the
Yeah,
Christian Bale
Niveditha,
ones.
did it-
Yeah.
Oh,
Niveditha,
wow.
And I've
didn't
seen the
his
Michael
hair bother
Keaton one,
you?
the George
Like,
Clooney one. Sorry, sorry.
In the beginning, yes, but that's what I thought. I was like, why didn't these, if they were going to go all emo on this film, they should have just gone all out. But they were trying to
He
mix
had a-
everything
Cyrus, he had
together.
an emo cut. He had an emo cut
Yeah,
like
he had
this,
a-
like
Yeah,
one
yeah.
eye covered.
And they put the black
Mascara-
stuff
mascara on
yeah,
his
on
eyes,
his
yeah.
eyes.
Was he trying to be more metrosexual?
No.
Sort of
So the
No,
thing
no,
is
it
like
wasn't like
the
that.
thing is like
He's just a
It's more like
loser,
when you're
Batty
man.
making-
Man. I'm Batty Man.
they have to put mascara
Oh.
under the eyes because otherwise it looks weird. Like you can see the.
They should
skin
have renamed it like
through the eye
Millennial
hole.
Batman. Millennial Batman
I
or
can't
some
believe
shit like
Abijit
that.
and Silverie discuss mascara and abs
Yeah,
for a
it's
man.
weird.
I mean, I don't know what the show's coming
Yeah.
to. I'm not, whatever. Everybody. all
This
of us
is very
welcome.
common. Punk rock used to have men wear mascara and eyeliner all the time.
That's actually true.
Right.
Green Day, yeah, a lot of them.
Why
wear
don't
mascara.
I know this?
Yeah.
What is wrong with me? I must study this market more. Next time Niveditha's on, everybody bring their own mascara.
We need to move on. Everybody's
But
really
let's
annoyed.
move on.
Ganguly ji is
Guys.
worried now, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Little bit, because this Batman has destroyed his peace of mind. Forget my two foxes is equally bad.
Abhijit
It's
hates
ridiculous.
this
Guy
Batman.
doesn't have abs. His torso is not
But-
good enough. He can't be Batman.
Such a
और वो land
shitty
नहीं करता
Batman.
बराबर बैठ जाता।
This is a really good
Guys.
depiction of what the world is like after the Batman movie, though. There's one Antariksh and there's one Abijit Ganguly.
And
And there's
there's
people
one
like
who-
me who
yeah.
don't want to get
One second,
involved.
I didn't get this. So it is a
So
polarized
I'm a
community.
Pete Davidson.
Yeah, it is,
Abhijit
it
is Kanye West. And
Why the
that's
fuck
Kim
am I
K-Kanye.
Kanye? Huh? Why?
I don't know,
Why
man.
do you get to be
You're the
Pete Davidson right now?
I'm here
Why
in the
am I
studio
not
with
Pete?
Niveditha.
Hey, listen, Kanye's got much more money. Just take it quietly.
That's actually true.
And he's quite brilliant
Okay,
in his own
I
way. bro.
changed
You
my
can't deny
mind.
He's
He's
brilliant.
brilliant.
He's
He's
nuts,
brilliant.
but he's brilliant. It's okay.
Yeah, but right after the story that Antariksh has just told us, I don't want to be Kanye. Like, the last.
No, I'll tell you.
So I'll
Yeah,
tell you the
Your
story.
problem is
What the hell?
Kanye doesn't have abs, right?
No.
That's
Yeah,
the problem.
correct.
Kanye actually does
they
have
don't show
abs.
his front only, yeah.
We
Kami
know.
front ही नहीं दिखाते वो लोग.
He knows about Kanye's
Yeah.
abs also. Boss, where is Nidhi? What's going
Pete
on?
also has abs, by the way.
Delhi
so-
में cross कर
Kanye
दे तो
also
कुछ
has
फर्क हो
abs.
जाता है.
Kanye has
हाँ.
abs. Kanye has abs.
Yeah, they're
Even
under all that
Kanye would have
fat,
been a
all
better
that belly
Batman. Kanye would have been a better Batman for sure than Robert
Bullshit.
Pattinson.
No, man.
Yeah,
No.
anybody.
But
Like,
did you hear
Silverie, I
Cyrus-
think you would be better than Robert
That
Pattinson.
too I
Like,
agree. I would be better than everyone.
Silverie
Yeah.
dresses like Rishi Kapoor in the
Yeah.
last 20 films.
Yeah,
He's got
I'm
3
just-
layers of clothing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Cyrus. Batman also has 3 layers of clothing.
Batman
Makes sense.
in 47 degrees in Mumbai fighting crime in this one. Everybody's like, kya kar raha hai?
Okay.
No, everybody stops to chat.
Let's move on to the topics
Oh.
next. Talking about the Pete Davidson and Kanye West thing. Cyrus, are you aware of what's happening with
No,
Kanye?
I'm not. You
Kim,
know, I'm not into
Pete
pop
Davidson.
culture.
So-
I got the fork issue.
What is the latest thing you know about Kanye and Kim?
So she was married to one and dating the other one, and so
Okay, so you know they divorced at least.
I have a
Okay.
15-year-old daughter.
Okay,
Baba. I know.
correct.
I'm quite up
Oh,
to
yeah,
it. I
she's-
just don't know this
Oh
story.
yeah, Maya, Cyrus' daughter, is very into keeping up the Kardashians.
She's like, she
Yeah.
represents them in India. She's like, whatever you
correct.
want to know, you talk to me and all that.
Yeah.
Like, she's seen the documentary on Bruce Jenner, who's now called
What?
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn.
Yeah.
And we had to sit through the racing part where he wins the decathlon in Munich or whatever.
Yeah.
So we sat through all that, and this is today's kids. This is their
She's
future.
educating you.
Yes, and I'm impressed. So
Okay.
she does know everything.
Okay,
And
cool.
I know the
So-
controversy with the Pete Davidson thing. They went for dinner once, for example.
Oh, no, that was there. So Pete
Yeah.
Davidson has a record of dating some of the most beautiful women,
Yeah.
right?
And
he's
his
right
dad
now
died in
dating-
9/11. He was a
Sure,
firefighter.
that also,
And he
yes.
made a really bad joke in a roast. She showed me that as well. I'm in.
Yeah, wow.
I'm in, guys.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
hanging
you're
in
sold
here.
on Pete Davidson.
Yeah,
I get.
yeah.
So Pete Davidson is dating Kim K right now.
Yeah.
And
Kim K, acha.
Kim, yeah,
Acha
best friend.
bacha.
Yeah, correct.
Oh, not bad.
Uh,
Kim K.
Yeah. That's
Klaus.
Kim
who's
K,
gonna say
I've never
Kardashian
heard
every
Kim
time.
K first.
I've
before.
never heard Kim
What?
K. It's
You-
Kim K, I've
sounds-
never
Kim K is
heard
a very
before.
common
sounds like a Uber driver.
Yeah.
Your driver is Kim K. He'll be here at 5 minutes.
Does he? Does it sound like a Uber driver? What kind
For
of
me,
Uber drivers
I
are you
always get
getting
these
from?
strange names on the Uber. I always get.
Yeah.
I got one guy called TSV. That was his name. It sounded like a motorbike. Yeah, go on.
Where was
So
this?
It was in Colaba to going to Prabhadevi.
Cool.
It cost me $165. Never
Nice.
again. It's
Never
not worth
forget
it.
the
You reach
details.
Prabhadevi. It's not like you reach Switzerland. It's just Prabhadevi. That's it. $165.
Sorry,
Polo.
Silverie, please
anyway,
continue.
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silvery,
So,
don't.
Kim
when we
is
segue
dating-
off, you just ignore and continue, no?
Kim is dating
Oh.
Pete Davidson right now.
You
And
said that 8 times.
Kanye has been like very public and like releasing text exchanges between him and Kim.
From the past.
Yeah, current. Where he's saying, take me back, and she's like, no, I'm done with this and whatever. And he's like really adamant about it and making like videos after videos. Kim, I miss her and I want her back.
And they have,
this
they have a
Pete
kid,
Davidson
right?
guy.
East or north or something.
Yeah, northwest. I think right,
Northwest facing, but
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
So anyway, now recently, so Kanye has been coming out a lot and shitting on Pete in public, and
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's been
basically-
happening for a long
yeah,
time.
for a while.
So
It's
it's
been
getting
going for
worse,
like a
more
few months.
aggressive, right?
Yeah. So now it
I
got
think Kanye can
it's
kill
gone to a
in
point.
fight.
it
I
absolutely
feel
can.
Pete is not a very tough guy.
No, absolutely not, dude.
Just hear this out.
He's a
Hear the
softie.
story out.
It's
Sorry,
also
I'm just worried
asthmatic.
for
He
Pete
has
now.
like
Pete के पास abs भी नहीं है.
yeah,
हाँ,
he
go on.
suffers from asthma, so he just starts like hyperventilating. if Kanye comes out.
He couldn't do the count in a boxing match. He was the
Yeah.
referee.
You know who's a
Like
real
10,
softie?
9.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
Both can knock. Kim can knock him out. Yeah, fair enough. Go on, go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So Pete Davidson has now started coming out and saying, "Ke Kanye, I won't let you treat us this way." So he had a text exchange with Kanye, and then Pete, after the text exchange, released the text exchange to the public
Hmm.
because it makes Pete come off in the
He knew he was
better
going to
light.
do it.
Yeah.
When you know you're going to do,
Yeah.
I mean, you set the guy
Correct.
up easily.
No. So basically, this is the text I'm going to
Ladies and
read.
gentlemen, now in the voice of Kanye West, पेश करते हैं the
No,
one and
actually, no.
only
I'm not going to try.
मशहूर
I'm not going to try a
आवाज,
black
जिंदगी की
voice.
सबसे
I'm not
खूबसूरत
going to try a
sound.
black voice.
Ladies and
I'm not
gentlemen,
gonna do that.
Silverie.
No.
Silverie.
All right. So Pete
No,
Davidson says to Kanye,
Niveditha, if he doesn't do the accent, we're not listening.
"No,
We
I
want
can't
accent.
do the
He's
Kanye West
great with
accent.
accents. They're always wrong, but they're funny. Please go.
Okay.
I'll do the white man Pete Davidson.
No,
accent
don't
if
be
you want.
racist about your accent. Just
What?
do. Why does he have an element of racism come into the
No,
accent?
Come
but
on.
Why
it
do you do
is
the accent?
doing a black accent is
What?
considered racist.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Just do accents and don't mention what they are exactly.
No,
Just
no,
quietly.
I'll tell you
Now
what-
you made us look like idiots.
I
Now
mean,
you're the black.
I
can do the
know.
white.
I'm
Race
aware.
is there,
What?
but I can't do the black. Race is there. So we're 2 races and 0 is our score.
Cyrus,
No,
once
I
a
think
person
I
says,
think what it is if you use the black accent and then profit off of it as a white person, that's racist.
Yes, that's
Oh.
black underprivilege. And as in white privilege, this is the reverse. So it's like that. Okay, maybe I shouldn't interfere.
I think we
Yeah.
should just.
The
I think we
lawyer.
should just follow the person who addressed her as Kim K. So I think Silverie knows.
I think he's close enough. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right,
Sure.
Mr. Ganguly.
All right,
Yes.
right. So anyway, the message from Pete to Kanye is, "Yo, it's Skeet."
What's worse than racism? Honestly, it's something we haven't reached yet.
He says that, yeah. He says, "Hey, yo, can you please take a second and calm down, man? It's 8 a.m. and it don't gotta be like this. Kim is literally the best mother I've ever met. What she does for those kids is amazing. And you are so fucking lucky that she's your kid's mom. I've decided I'm not gonna let you treat us this way anymore, and I'm done being quiet. Grow the fuck up." To this, Kanye replies, "Oh, you're using profanity now," like saying, "Okay, he's a little kid."
You don't have to translate
Just
English
saying.
to English. We figure it out.
"Oh, you're using profanity now. Where are you right now?" And Pete Davidson says, "In bed with your wife," and sends a photo of himself in bed, just in bed.
Oh.
I don't know if it's actually in bed with his wife, but he
You
says
better
that.
put it on your cam thing so people
Yeah.
can see the photo, which made
I
no
mean-
sense to me.
No,
But
people have
that's
seen
the
this.
photo.
People have seen this. People can look this up.
Yeah.
The
We
exchange
are seeing
between
the
them.
ad. We are seeing the ad
Yeah.
and what of Silverie's screen.
Really, as a marketing
Some
genius,
shitty ad.
I gotta say. But coming back to the whole thing,
I mean, very funny, but oh man, was that
Yeah.
needed? But very funny though.
but you got the girl. Why do you have to, attack
No, but-
the other guy? You already
No,
won the
it's actually
competition if
Kanye
there's
attacking
one.
them. No, Kanye is
No,
the one
but
attacking
now
them.
because he's like the angry dog who's tied on the leash and can't attack, so he can just keep barking.
But dude,
just ignore
Kanye
him.
has been dating women after women, and still on the side he's like, "Kim, take me back. Kim, take me back." How does it make those women feel? Yeah, like, dude,
Who are
are
you?
these
Are you
unimportant?
the father of one? of
I'm
these?
just thinking,
Why are you
dude,
acting
you
like a
can't do
judge
that.
here?
What
You
about
can't do
Kim
that.
K, guys? What
So-
about Kim K?
Kim K का क्या हो गया?
Kim K doesn't want him around anymore.
Yeah.
And
But look at
so
the
Trevor
way
Noah had a great
my
day.
friend from Powai, with not a single straight bone in his body in terms of dating women, I'll tell you stories about him.
What are you
Suddenly
talking
he's
about?
talking about this guy like he's evil.
No, but I want to know what why he responded this way, Pete. What was
Yeah, you didn't give
Kanye
us the
doing
pre-
Oh,
before?
so
No, there was
Kanye,
some
Kanye's
aggressive
been
yeah,
bullying
Kanye
him for
has
a long
been-
time. No, Kanye has
Yeah,
been
yeah.
going at him like
No, no,
on.
but
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
thought
but
he
it's
stopped
like-
in between. He
specifically-
deleted
no,
all
no,
of
he's
his
on and off.
posts
It's
and-
Kanye.
No, no,
now.
specifically
on
to
and
this
off.
conversation, there's something that sparked off this reply. So what was that bit? He's not put that in. Where
That I don't
Kanye and
know.
him had an exchange before this, for which he's replied, right?
No, so this is probably the first message they've ever had. That's what it looks like. This is the first time they ever
No.
messaged. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I'll talk to my
It's
expert.
the first
This is
time
message?
The
Pete
message, text
messaged,
message.
I think.
This is
Because
the beginning
you
of the
think
text message.
Kanye
history.
has probably
You think in
messaged
a
before.
fair world,
I
they
think-
two will fall in love and Kim K gets locked out?
That would be, yeah, imagine that.
And then you will know all about the abs. Missed like G.
Yeah.
Kim K is
Both of
with
them had
Robert
abs.
Pattinson.
Oops, ouch. Robert Pattinson gets Kim K.
Yeah.
Because she's the only one who in America who didn't see Batman. So she falls in love with him. See, it's all working out now.
The only person
Wow.
who's a
It's
bigger
possible,
softie
it's
than
possible.
Pete.
I know why softy is a bad thing.
I don't-
Softy is attractive to women these days.
And when he reaches my age, it's all softy anyway. You got to understand what's coming. It's not like
Yeah,
you're
I'm
gonna be
not
young
saying
forever.
softie is a bad thing, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, yeah.
During COVID, all
Robert
these
You
Pattinson
used, you used it as an insult just now.
he says a bad thing
I'm
for
just
Robert
saying-
Pattinson
Softy.
is a softy.
Damn softy.
Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, at least
I
if
love
you're
softy ice cream, by
Batman,
the
you're
way.
not supposed to be softy. That's all that I'm saying. You're
Softy
fucking
is my
Batman.
favorite ice
Okay, you
cream.
can
No,
be
that's
softy
not
all
true.
the time.
Batman
Yeah.
is the biggest softy. He's like the reason people like him so much is because he's so upset and sad all the time.
Like not
What's-
at criminals, but the other people is soft with.
yeah.
He's a
Also-
brooding person. He's a brooding person.
No,
That's not
he's a
because
softy dude. He
softy.
adopts kids and makes them fight crime, like with
And he's
Robin.
had like that whole
And
It's not
childhood.
like he's done it with
American
multiple kids. He just
No,
did it
he
with
has.
one man. Like
No, he's done
like
it with
Robin.
5 different Robins.
Oops, that sounds
Okay.
horrible.
Yeah.
He stays away from women because he thinks he's gonna hurt them because
He's
he
like the
can't
Michael
be with-
Jackson of
Batman.
superheroes. Eh?
What a
He's
great
the Michael
super
Jackson of
upset
superheroes.
all the time.
I can't
He
be with you.
famously,
'cause
he
then you
famously
will-
carried Robin at the balcony when he was young, I remember, and presented him, to the people. Yeah. What is that song? That famous song from this Lion King?
That one. All of us know
Are you
that
talking
song.
about Hakuna Matata?
No,
That too.
No.
No.
I know the original,
first
by the way.
song.
This,
Circle of
actual
Life.
original tune is very different.
What? It's not
Circle of Life.
Hakuna Matata.
That's what they put together. Tim Rice, Elton John, whoever else was involved. I can't remember.
Okay.
That's a put together tune. When I went to
That's
Kenya.
hilarious.
Tarun
It's
says
a
there's a
good-
World War III in discussion, and we are discussing the wrong Kim.
Oh, right. Well done.
Yeah.
All the facts tell. Oh, we're taking a break now.
We should.
Why?
He's
Because it's
that guy's
34
Kim
minutes.
North
It's
K.
time.
North Kim K. Or
You
something.
like his
Yeah.
abs? Abhijit, you like Kim Jong? Kim
He has
Jong?
no abs,
Oh,
but he would be a
abs?
better Batman than Robert Pattinson.
And he's brooding. He's got that aggressive veneer and all that, And he's a loner. People are scared to be around him for long because, you can get shot by anti-aircraft guns and things like that.
You can. Correct.
Which is just too much power to execute a person, I would think, but whatever. Are we ready to take a break so early?
Yeah, it's 35 minutes.
35 minutes? Okay, damn it. When we come back after this break, 2 of our guests would have left. Just out of principle. Here's the break.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. On Think Fast, Varun and Sujita talk about 2 growing categories, mental health and pets. They give us a rundown on why mental health apps have seen a rise, especially as a result of the lockdown. They also analyze the significant growth in the pets category of consumer goods. We often feel that we don't get paid enough for what we do. Join Chetna on Say No to Drama as she talks about self-worth. On Big Talk About Tiny Humans, Dr. Meghna and Devi Shobha discuss why feminism is a dirty word and why people find this term problematic. Sudisha and Arushi from All Things Policy talk about how the Indian economy pointed towards a 30% decline since 2016 in the number of employed young adults. And on The Longest Constitution, Priya looks at the long history of how laws on property are biased against women and how women have fought back to challenge these laws. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you enjoyed this show or any of our shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. Word of mouth really does help us. And also, please, a rating if you could. That is also extremely helpful to us. And remember, we're also on YouTube. You can check out ivmpodcast.com/YouTube to get a list of the different channels that we operate on YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, SBI Life Insurance, Bank of Baroda, India Water Portal, and Max Life Insurance.
All right.
Yeah.
Abhijit is looking very angry. I think just the Batman thing is just good.
This,
What do we do?
boiled is it's boiling
You
with
guys
rage.
come up with something to make him smile again.
When
make
did
him
you watch
happy.
it?
No,
Abhijit?
don't remind him.
No, just asking. When did you watch it? Just
I
asking.
think it's been like a week, maybe like 4
Oh,
5
I mean,
days
it's
at
not
least.
festering
4
Festering
days.
for a week.
Wow.
He said, this
Yeah,
is
I've been ranting
festering for a
about,
week.
and this is not even so. The rant is not even fresh. Like this is not like I've just watched it. I need to
No
get it
wonder
out of the
Nidhi has
system.
left. You understand? The same conversation for 7 days.
I've
He
convinced
just walked
at
out.
least 3
Even-
people not to watch Batman who wanted to
Oh,
watch
man.
Batman. Like, come on,
Don't
man.
do
That's
that.
just
Yeah, it's a
like
good
don't
movie.
spoil
I-
your
I'll
Batman
Tell
memory.
me who
I
they
went
were.
with
I'll call them
people-
up.
I'll
right
tell
now.
you.
I went with people
Robert
who were watching
Pattinson?
it for the second time.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Wow.
That's how much they liked it. And I watched it and I was like, come on. It's not
So
And
just-
these are the
something-
same guys who like to go for Abhijit stand-up shows.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. I mean, it's amazing the connect there. Fantastic.
My brother asked me yesterday, okay, hey, you
Wanna
know
go
what?
again?
No. He said even I actually slept through a lot of about 40 minutes of the movie
Huh.
in the theater,
Huh.
the Batman. So he's like, you want to go again? I'm like, yeah, we can. And but then
So you can sleep the
5
other
minutes
2
later, my
hours.
brother's like, yeah, 5 minutes later, my brother's like, you know what? Actually, let's just find a cam print online and we'll watch that instead.
No, we don't endorse that view. Don't find cam prints. Fight piracy. Don't do that. I mean, he's just kidding. I mean, he would never do that. Would you ever do that?
I mean, sometimes.
Okay, but don't do it in future.
I mean, that's right. What am I, a millionaire, dude? I'm gonna buy every movie ticket.
All right.
Wow.
I guess we're just gonna
Yeah.
go down with the
What is-
Titanic.
I
We
don't
have
think
no
this
choice.
is right to talk
Yeah.
about online.
It's fine. Oh, it's all good.
Terms and conditions.
Yeah,
S&P. He doesn't know
dude,
anything.
dubious means exist online. I'm not making them up.
But you're not
Yeah.
going to do it.
I mean, I don't. publish it.
Yeah, just
But it's there
Silverie,
for
just
us to
stop
consume.
talking. Just stop. Just
It's fine, man.
just
It's
stop
fine.
defending that stand.
No,
I
but you
get
know
it,
what? I
but
want
just
to know what part of the Batman that the Batman movie that
Oh.
Antariksh slept through.
No, the brother. The brother
No,
slept
brother
through.
slept through about 40 minutes. I slept through like 10 seconds of it. I dozed off like in 2 different
Because
parts.
it's 3 hours.
It is 3 hours, man.
Was
how
it a
can
bad
you
the end is very
actually
long.
doze off during a movie and still defend it that it was a
That's
good
what I
movie? Are you
wanted to
mad or
ask him.
what? Like how much sense is this making?
Arey Baba, I used to watch Baywatch like that. You know, when
Yeah.
Pamela came on, I was awake. The rest
You
of it,
were
David
watching
Hasselhoff.
Baywatch for different reasons, Cyrus, and
No, the
this
script
he's
was fantastic. I mean,
yeah,
there was
he's
the robber.
defending Batman,
There were
you
girls
know, like
running on
with
the
so much
beach
fervor, like he
in
made it.
tight swimming
It's a
costumes.
re-
Niveditha, that's art. Where I
I
come
remember that
from.
from the 90s.
So
Ouch.
guys, okay, whoever's
The
watching
diss.
this, just keep this in mind that Silverie is defending the movie in which he slept for like some 10 odd seconds and his
Yeah.
brother slept for
Yeah.
40 minutes. So that's his
Yeah.
idea of a good movie. So
But
God
they
knows like what's
almost
a
went
bad
to watch
movie
it
would
again.
be.
No, no.
Yeah.
I've been saying from the beginning, the ending where the parts where I slept through, there are like all those multiple endings that are not needed. Yeah.
Watch
That
this.
is for sure.
Take this criticism on the
10
chin, please,
cars
from Bruce Wayne.
and watches Cam print. Typical behavior.
Really, the rich behave like this. The rich who can afford the 500
Correct.
rupee ticket,
I mean,
and
I
know
can,
you
but
behave
I
like
don't
this.
want to
As a
take
poor
the
guy,
effort to go all the way
He's
again.
selling his wife's
Arre, arre.
jewelry to go and watch Batman, and then you say it's not good, not worth it.
I'm saying it's good. Go watch it. I want the movie to earn, but I won't give it more money.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move on from Batman. I think we exhausted
Okay,
the topic
cool.
Yeah.
completely.
All right,
Mhm.
let's go. Next one is SRK Plus.
Yeah.
So Shah Rukh Khan has announced his own venture, something called SRK Plus,
Right.
and everyone has been reporting, oh, it's his own new OTT platform. He's
Can
going
I
to launch
just
his own
quickly
Disney
give a
Plus
plug to
Hotstar
my good
platform.
friend Gopal Dutt Tiwari,
Yeah.
who doesn't use Tiwari because of passport issues, but he
Yeah.
has a Tiwari, but he
Okay.
says Gopal Dutt. He's a very famous actor, works on a show called Week That Wasn't that nobody's watched, even less than this podcast. He's in the ad.
Oh,
Just
he is in
wanted
the
to say
ad.
that. He's in
Nice.
the promos. They made
No, very cool.
promos and
Yeah,
he's in them.
Very
He's the manager of Shah Rukh. Shah Rukh plays himself. It's a very fantastic piece of casting. Hey, boss, play yourself. Come on. Boom.
Oh, very cool.
Anyway, now carry on with your
Okay.
story.
So he announced SRK Plus. Shah Rukh Khan did.
Did you do a SRK stammer because you were trying to do a
correct,
Kiran
correct.
thingy?
SRK
Okay.
Plus.
You get that? Very subtle.
Correct,
Shah
yeah,
Rukh
Correct.
tribute.
Hey,
By the way, Abijit has a lot of Shah Rukh mannerisms in his normal. I think he's highly influenced. I get a lot of Shah Rukh from him, the way he behaves. Are you a big Shah Rukh fan?
By the way, I'm so like happy that you said that because nobody has ever said that to me ever in life. You know, and not only Shah Rukh, any good-looking person I've not been compared to. So I've actually growing up, my brother used to be a huge Shah Rukh fan, and I used to like not like Shah Rukh, and once I called Shah Rukh like a cuss word, and my brother slapped me and all. So I'm anything but a Shah Rukh fan. But right now, I find him like after growing up, I find Shah Rukh to be a fairly great guy, and obviously his wit and
Because he's got
everything
abs.
is on point.
Yeah, like,
He
shows his
would have been
front.
better Batman for
Frontal
sure.
figure.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Frontal
yes.
past.
Yeah.
Huh. Hurry up with the story. Is there
Yes,
anything
yes.
more to it? There's a controversy.
Yeah, so basically, no. What is happening is, so he announced SRK Plus, and people are thinking that it's his own new OTT platform. All the news outlets, big news outlet, NDTV and India Today have been reporting, oh, he's launching his own OTT platform. Turns out, no, it's just like a new branding for his Hotstar or Disney Plus Hotstar ad campaigns that he's been doing. It's just
It's
that.
promos for the
It's
channel,
promos for
the
that,
OTT.
basically,
But
yeah.
wasn't that very evident? There have been so many Hotstar of these
Exactly.
ads coming.
I don't know
It was
why
very
people are-
evident.
How can these big news outlets be misreporting so widely, dude? Okay, new
It's not
OTT
new
platform,
for
new OTT
them.
platform. But it's
So
right.
let's take it up with the news outlets. We'll
Yeah.
call them on our podcast and we'll chat with the owners of all these outfits that you've mentioned, and we will get down to the bottom of this. And
Yeah,
it will
correct.
not
Kaise
happen
karoge?
again on our watch. We will not allow India to suffer like this.
These are the
No
same
more.
news outlets that have been saying Batman's a good movie.
That's right.
No.
Find a
These are the
leftist,
outlets that
find a
say Batman's
leftist
a
touch
bad
to it.
movie.
They sat through Batman. They're communists.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Okay, next is
Niveditha, you have nothing to say about this? Would you like to?
I was just gonna say it's because of underpaid interns, but I just didn't think I should say that. Okay. But it's true. It's probably because they're all kids who don't get paid much. They get a like 1 hour to
But
write
sometimes
something.
advertising is confusing. So, and
Yeah.
with the title like what SRK plus or whatever it is, it could be. I can see not logic, but I can see you going the wrong way with that if you don't pay attention to it. That's what
Maybe this is what they wanted through the campaign, that people should get confused.
Well, yeah, we're discussing it. So, and Hotstar's name gets mentioned, so they get I think they get the bang for the buck. Is Shah Rukh bigger than Hotstar? Is the question. That's dangerous. Like, is Joe Rogan bigger than what's it called?
SRK
is
fans
it-
are the worst. My best friend's girlfriend is a fan, said something about him. She stopped talking to me. Thank God.
Wow.
Yes, it has
But when
happened
will
with
he
other
stop
people.
Yeah, but
talking?
this is just a fan culture. Like in the South, they will beat you up if you say anything against the superstars of the
yeah.
South.
I mean, Rajini
Some
YouTube.
comic act Niveditha, some comic cracked some Mahesh Babu joke and got
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
badly.
He got his family got threatened, and he
Really?
couldn't perform for like a year or something. He was laying low. It
Why?
was
You couldn't
really bad.
perform in Kashmir also?
You know what the thing about
Wherever there
Tamil
are Telugu
comedians
speaking
don't
people,
travel.
I have to stay away. Check. Finally, he's in Slovakia and there's this one Reddy couple. Yeah, I'll kill you. Sorry, go on.
It was really bad for him. He got very scared because these people were properly attacking him. But I don't know why Tamil comedians don't move out of the state. I think they should come up here because he does comedy in English. This guy, his name is Manoj.
You know why? Because if you live in places like Hyderabad or Chennai, the roads are better, first and foremost. And there's parking in many parts of the city, second and foremost.
Yeah.
And third, the VIP culture, post Amma, is very different. There's not so much traffic congestion because some great person is moving and 40,000 policemen have to stand on the road because that's their main job. That doesn't happen, only happens in Mumbai. So don't come to Mumbai. Stay the F away from Mumbai. Wherever you are, it's better. Sorry, you were saying
Wow,
something.
he's basically asking me to go back.
No.
Very anti-immigration policies, man. Niveditha last
I mean,
time
why is
Kanye
Delhi
also made me
complaining? Why is
feel like
Chennai
this.
complaining? Why is Bangalore complaining? Come on, I'll tell you. You can't complain. We travel to your cities. You don't have this problem. Okay, Delhi has huge VIP problem. But their problem is the roads are so big, the problem becomes less of a problem. I mean, Abijit can go by because the roads are so big. But here, we just get killed. It's a small city. Mumbai is about 2 kilometers long. That's it. It's a small little place. And one great man comes and then suddenly all these guys are out. That's it. That's their work. Seems to be nothing else. Stop this psychophancy. Stop it. It's worse than Pattinson as Batman. Polo, sir.
Okay, next one.
How did we get
this
get to this anti-immigration stand?
She wants this.
Where
she's
did
got
this
she's
come
got
from?
one Tamil comic who's very talented and bilingual, trilingual. He can do it everywhere.
No, I was not asking. It was a
I'm just
rhetoric
saying-
question.
No, I know it's a rhetoric question. I want to be very clear as a piece of advice that
A rhetoric
geographically
answer now.
speaking, do not come here. Do not come here. And don't
I was
go to
there.
politics
You
discussion.
remember? I was also here during this
Yeah.
discussion. So yeah,
That's
I
true.
heard.
I
How
forget
did it
sometimes.
come?
I don't
Yes,
realize.
sorry.
I'm not used to having any audience. So it's difficult to remember there's anybody there. Go on.
Okay, so this is a slightly sad story.
Oh, God.
Basically, there was now a professional international kabaddi player by the name of Sandeep Singh Nangal Ambian, okay, who was shot in broad daylight
Huh?
at a place in Chandigarh at some kabaddi tournament that he had organized. So he was also a kabaddi organizer, and he was shot in broad daylight.
Mistaken identity.
No, just a cold-blooded killing. It's caught on tape. Where these assailants are like 4 assailants are firing shots into this person. We can't see the person they're firing into, but
What's the story behind it?
we don't know yet. But this is like the latest thing that has come out just yesterday, and obviously he must have like wronged them.
We
that
had
they
this in
felt or whatever.
wrestling recently, but anyway.
Yeah, we did have this in wrestling,
Yeah.
correct? But yeah, what a world we live in. That
Some business dealing gone wrong.
but broad daylight, like that's crazy. That's so scary. That
I don't want to be
somebody just
insensitive about this, but I worry for you producers.
I know.
You have to be very careful because you rub people the wrong way sometimes, and then they come back to these kind of things can happen. That's why I'm saying don't. If you're a comic in Chennai or Hyderabad or wherever you are, think about coming here. It's not that you're taking away our work. It's not that. I mean, of course it's that also, but I'm saying it's just not worth it. It's a horrible, horrible place to live. Horrible.
How did
I-
you link a kabaddi player being shot
I-
to
I
please don't come to
segued with-
Mumbai, Cyrus?
I used the
I
word.
will-
I used the word. Let's not be too
Incredible.
insensitive about this, but I just wanted to mention that there's problems everywhere. Also, just want to make it a collective.
Have you ever been to a kabaddi match?
At
Like
this
one of
rate,
those-
I
we'll-
have.
we- at this
I have. In
at
fact,
this rate, we'll have sponsorship from MNS like Raj Thakre. IVM podcast is amazing. Yes.
we'll take sponsorship from anyone right now, including Putin. It's like that bad. But you won't believe this, but when they started Kabaddi, Star Sports called me to the
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
And I had a meeting with them in CNBC. So they saw Kunal and said, can he also do it? They wanted us to be the anchors
Oh wow.
when they initially
But that would have
started.
been fun. I
Yeah.
would have loved to hear you guys.
Oh, yeah. But have you seen Kunal and sport? I mean, it's like me
But
and
you have to
fashion.
be
It's
commentators.
teamwork.
Commentators don't need to be like.
No,
fit and
that's
all.
what it was going to be, just the fun part, not the real commentators
Ah.
with the audience and this, that, and the
Yeah.
other. But it didn't work out for many reasons, and that's it.
Paisa.
So
Oh.
Kabaddi's
Less
lost.
money. They give less
It's
money.
CNBC's gain. We stay in the same stupid show in a small studio that nobody watches, and life goes on. Hence, don't come to Bombay because there's just no space. Right.
Okay, now we go to the AMAs.
So we're going to the AMAs.
Yes.
Abijit, put on your seatbelt, buckle up, and let's hear the criticisms.
Okay. This one comes in from Girish Patil. He says, when one political party starts vehemently supporting a particular movie? Is it just a movie to be seen from a lens of creativity and storytelling?
What's amazing is the Prime Minister had to weigh in on it as well.
Yeah.
You know, I was almost like Joe Biden coming up and saying Rocky 5 is the one to watch and all that. You know, it's a little, you know, when pop culture and so-called, and then the world we live in with wars going on and all, it's a little, okay, I'll leave it to Niveditha. She's come back from Coimbatore. She needs to talk more.
No. I actually do not have a lot of opinions on this movie because have you watched it? I haven't
not.
I
watched
haven't watched
it.
it, but I've watched the debates on the Kashmir
But
file. So
I mean, I've watched it. I haven't watched it,
How do you
but
watch
I've
it?
heard and
Very
seen so
intense,
many
I've heard.
opinions about it that I want to watch it now and see like if it's actually like a good film or it's just like a propaganda-driven thing. But I mean, I have always believed that for so many people to be watching it, it can't be a bad film. It can't be like a really
there's no
like
bad or
it
good
has
film.
to
It's a
be.
perspective. They've taken
Nahi,
one
there are
perspective.
bad
Now,
films.
yes
At
side
least
se ya
I
wo
am
side
finding
se.
Batman
That's
bad film, yaar. So I can at least from my side, I can like if I'm finding it a let me just put it as a personal subjective thing. If I find it bad or good, but yeah, I want to. I'm pretty curious about it because I put up some tweet about it yesterday. Got lambasted for it. A lot of people, completely went with tongs and hammers at me. So yeah, I
Oh,
want
wow.
to.
Can you tell
I
us the
want to
tweet?
actually. No, I
Can you share it?
basically I said the pretty much the same thing that I mean, I mean, I'm not going to say. Let's not bring it up. No, why? If something I've gotten
Let's not,
brickbats
let's
for,
not.
why
You
do
put
I
it up.
repeat
You put
it
it up
right
on
now?
Twitter. It's already out there in the world. I mean,
So let it be on Twitter. Let people reply
Let it be
there.
on
what is
Because
Twitter.
we also
it's
get
not
hate here.
publicity for him.
For no reason.
On our award-winning show, if we re-put it, it'll be great for him. Okay, give us the. If you don't want to give the line, give the essence.
So basically, I mean, this is more to do with like something my thought process and all. It can be wrong also, of course. But what I feel is that any movie has to be deep. Like the movie has to click with the audience for it to be deemed like for it to be successful or for it to be deemed good. Like it can't be just because of just propaganda or appeal of any party of the BJP or whatever, Modi or whatever.
That's
Because
more like a
if that
publicity
would be the
vehicle.
case, if that would have been the case, then a lot of like even the Vivek Oberoi's Modi and all so many other movies would have also been that, but none of those worked. So it has to be at least a decent film for it to work. It's just propaganda, and so I kind of equated that with, and that's the thing that mostly whenever there's an outrage from any side, left or right, uh, if it's a decent piece of art. It mostly gets covered up. Like for instance, Patal Lok, the series, or there was outrage against it also, some religious symbols and all, but the series was so good that, like Patalo for me is one of the best series I've watched, and special to Indian scenario se to undoubtedly that everybody shut it down कि इतने दिनों बाद एक तो अच्छी चीज आई है तुम फालतू में बोले जा रहे हो, so everybody shuts it down because there are enough people to defend it. But at the same time, from same OTT, Amazon Prime, Tandav came out and there was outrage against it, but Tandav was just a bad series, so there was no defense against it. So and I mean, again, controversial waters, but even with
Now
jokes,
too late. Now too late.
sometimes
You were doing
yeah,
so
sometimes
well, so
You're
well
still
till the
so
last
cautious.
Tandev
You're being too
issue.
cautious.
Yeah,
but
unnecessary.
even with jokes, sometimes like I personally again
तो
I can
तूने
be
क्या
wrong about this.
कहा?
This is what I wrote out in the tweet, that even with jokes also, like sometimes when there's outrage, if the joke is bloody good, then it's still
continues.
there are
It survives
supporters
the
about it.
outrage. Yeah,
But when the
got it.
joke is also shitty and plus you have hurt people's
So
feelings,
actually, it's
that's
an
when it
excellent
goes bad.
point. You divided the issue of whether it's controversial, right or wrong, as a separate issue, and you're talking about in the fullness, the film, does it stand as a piece of art? That's more
Yeah,
important. But I've
but yeah,
understood, but the people who are angry have not understood your point. So maybe you
I
have
got
to
lambasted.
talk.
No, I do understand the counter argument to this. So the counter argument to Abhijit's
She's one of the trollers.
opinions
Bolo, bolo.
is that art, when it's good, is more dangerous because it's influential. So when a piece of art is good and it's made well, it's easier to consume.
But the
and it's
message is
easier,
jaundiced and dangerous.
yeah, the message, it may be, but it's
You're very
easier to
careful.
take. No, but that's what I'm
And
saying.
she's in
But she's
Coimbatore.
right. I
No one
get
can
what
touch her. A full different party there.
Yeah.
No,
Stalin is a friend. Don't worry about it.
but that's the
But
thing.
I
When
get what you're
something
saying.
is more entertaining, it's
Uh.
easier for people to accept, because
As
at the
the
end of the day,
truth,
most
as the
as
truth,
the
yeah.
truth.
But
as
also,
the
what he's
truth.
saying is that let's first find out if it's a good film or not before we get into
Oh,
the rest of it.
absolutely. Like, but people, the masses, do not know how to differentiate
That's-
between a good
the-
film
the-
and just
tell
reality.
you,
But
I
why
was
do we
watching
have that patronizing point of view towards masses? Why do
No,
we
the
have that
first- the
patronizing point
masses.
of view towards
The
masses,
people who
that
are
masses are
arguing and the
dumb
trolling
people?
and all that's going on, and the pro and anti that's going on, is all the people who haven't really watched the film. It's as usual. It's just politicized
Yeah,
completely, and
that's
people
the
are just
most,
throwing their hat into the
Always.
ring.
No, it's
If you
not
hear them talking-
patronizing. I think
Sorry,
it's not a
now that
patronizing
he's
view.
used a very strong word, yeah.
Yeah, it's not patronizing. It's just the reality of it. Like, your experiences. What are the masses? The masses are the people who have experienced one side of an event uh, on a large number. So when you play to their opinions, they will accept it, and it's hard for a person who's
Play
been
to their
through a
opinions in the
certain.
sense that you're trying to brainwash opinion
You're not brainwashing.
with a
See,
publicity barrage.
these people already have one side of the story because they have lived it. And then the other side is hard to accept. And I understand that because you've been through a very traumatic incident. You're not going to have the empathy to understand what the other person is going through. Right. And that's what's happening in our country right now, because one side of the masses have been affected by one thing, but the minorities.
Yeah, but you can't. Let's just talk plainly. You can't deny that the pundits were prosecuted. You can't
Correct.
deny that
It is a
they
very
fled.
important
You
topic.
can't-
I agree.
I know personally. I know people, and one guy was heading MTV for some time. Who was his, we used to actually call from our Loveline because we had a free STDs. We used to call all the people that we knew outside Bombay, and we used to call his place, which is just outside Srinagar, and was
Yeah.
picked up by a terrorist outfit with a
What?
very
You
chaste
talk to a terrorist outfit.
No, because he said, you don't believe me, you phone, because they've taken over the place, and this is what they say. No, look, again, my point is, so what is the story saying? We have to
Yeah.
find that out. None of us
Yeah.
have seen it.
Yeah.
Who the victim is, is always subjective.
No, I do think it's an important story to tell. The movie came in and I was like, okay, at least the story
But it's
is
also
out
Kashmir
there.
files, so you can find different perspectives. There's one file on this, and the next file
Mm.
can tell the other side of the story, and so I mean that
Guys,
keeps it open.
I've heard people's acting in the movie is good.
Very
Like Thinking
passionate.
nicely.
It's a fashion movie, of course.
Well
like
played,
it's
well
a
played,
never
Silverie,
been
well
passionate.
played.
Bro, I've
Yeah.
never been to Kashmir. Kashmir and Orissa are the two big states I've
Never been to Kashmir.
I've never been to
Yeah.
the
You've never been to
north.
Odisha?
I've never been to
Cyrus?
I've never
Orissa.
been to Orissa or
Why?
Kashmir.
We were going for a big
Bhubaneswar
show
is such a nice
in
place.
Puri,
Odisha is so nice.
and my wife grew up in Cal, so Puri was the weekend. If you have any Cal, I mean, you're Bengal, you must have some Cal. This thing. So the corporate people all went to Puri. That was like
Yeah.
a weekend place. That's the way it was growing up in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And I've never been. How sad.
I was there
Yeah.
last weekend. I was there last weekend in Bhubaneswar. I love the place.
How do
man.
they
I
shorten
really-
Bhubaneswar? I've always wondered.
What?
Okay, don't. Just
Sorry,
let it go.
how did they?
Nothing.
So
You know how
please repeat. Now.
Cities, there are long names, you shorten them, na? Like
Boo-boo.
NY.
What do you think?
मैं कुछ नहीं बोला. Just
I know where you were
calm
going.
down.
I know
Just
where-
calm down.
I know where you were
Hold
going, man.
yourself. What are you doing?
God.
No, but anyway,
Too
let's
much?
get back. No.
He called you patronizing.
No. He said the
No,
opinion
but
was patronizing.
can I take a side for a second? No, because we have this. Look at Punjab. We always think masses. This dumb group of Indians, and sometimes they do appear to be that. But there's also look at Punjab. They just said enough. We've had enough of these morons making a tomfoolery of us with the shenanigans and tamasha and theatre, and they went to AAP. Who's the outsider? They turned their back on Amarinder, who's like God. He's the royal family. They turned their back on Congress, which is fully there. BJP with all their tom-tomming, just turned their back. So I don't know whether it's fair to always say that the masses are, one collective. I don't think that exists actually as a dynamic. I don't know. Is that what do you think, Silverie?
Yeah.
I get nothing.
No,
from
I
him.
don't. I don't
He's
think.
not interested.
Popcorn.
He's like, मैं तो पढ़ाई का हूँ. मेरे को interest
Acting
नहीं
was
है
good in the
social
movie.
dynamics.
Acting must be good in the movie.
I don't think it's so the reason I think it's harder when the masses are angry is because when the masses are angry, and when I say masses, I mean a big group of people who have the same opinion.
Who are not invested personally in Kashmir in the sense either Pandits or from the other community in Kashmir. No, I'm talking about people across India. Abijit, Silverie, me, you, from wherever the hell we are.
Mm.
So are they being influenced collectively? That's to say all of them. I think that's a tough.
It's not an influence. I don't think they're being influenced, but I just think that it's harder. You know how it is when two kids are fighting, right? Two kids are fighting. You take one kid's side as a parent or something, and the other kid just feels like
left out.
cornered.
Yeah.
And then they
Not
start
loved,
acting out,
Hmm.
and then.
But does democracy work in right or wrong? Sometimes if somebody slaps somebody, you can't be democratic about that, right? In that sense. That's the other issue. I understand where you're going with it, trying to be secular and straightforward about all these things, but it's a little difficult.
You're
There is
absolutely
subsequent
right.
question.
I understand that it's difficult. That's why politics is so difficult.
So-
Even Kashmiri pundits don't know what to do about this situation, right? If you talk to a Kashmiri, if you have friends who are Kashmiri pundit and you've spoken about this, they all have these traumatic memories about what happened to them, but they don't know what side. They're all confused. You think the Muslims in Kashmir don't think about this? All of them are thinking about this, but they don't know how to solve it because it's such
Also,
it's such a complex issue.
Everybody is honest with Islamic fundamentalism. It's to do with the guys with weapons.
Yeah.
You got to stop putting them all together and saying Muslim, Muslim, Muslim. It's not that at all.
Yeah.
You know, and if you speak to Kashmiri guys who grew up with them, the Muslims and Hindus in Kashmir actually have so much in common. You know, they eat the
How
same
come
food.
you've
Very
never
common.
been to Kashmir either, Cyrus?
No, I was about to go. In 1989, 90 or something, we were trying to go to college. We were in college and all that. And when the shit hit the fan, because Gulmarg and all these places were very attractive for, growing up. With some joker had gone there before and all that. But then no.
Arey, I was
Baramulla
there
was
when
in our
Burhan
textbook.
Wani was
I've read
shot.
all about
I was
it.
there. I was
Huh?
there when Burhan Wani was shot.
Oh God, that's
shit
not
went
too
down
distant
like
past.
crazy. Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
I was there. Like there was there's always that. No, there's a year or two of peace, and then something
And
happens,
he became
and
a
then
big
suddenly it
hero,
just-
and then again terrorism rose, and his posters
Yeah.
were everywhere. Anyway, what have we
There
done to our
was
podcast?
There-
Yeah, we
there are
made this
silly
subsequent
super
flippant
questions.
serious.
podcast.
It's just
Girish
Girish
not
Patel
really
has a subsequent question,
intense.
follow-up question.
How did
to
we
this.
go from
He says-
Bruce Wayne to like Batman to
How I
to
miss
this, like,
Pattinson's
yeah.
abs. Yeah, happy. Nobody's affected. Kim K, and
Oh, this is a heavy topic. This is
Yeah.
like you can't
But
be funny.
on the other
about
side-
it.
Also, okay, last thing, we always try to look for solutions. Sometimes there's no point looking
There's
for
no
solutions. Why do we
solution,
look
yeah.
for solutions?
No,
Like, we
Girish,
just
This
solve
is
it.
one of those things.
Yeah.
There isn't really a clear solution because
Exactly.
as Girish has a follow-up question. He says,
Yeah.
on the other side, if a politically passionate movie is creatively good also, can the same logic of never let the truth come between a good
But
storytelling?
that's what he
be
said,
applied?
no? That's what Abijit pointed out in the beginning. So,
Okay, then it's answered.
no, and you want to take this?
no. I think it was already answered like through our big discussion on it.
Yeah,
And
very
as
intense
a
well.
lawyer, I like it. This thinking is a very actually safe place to go without sounding like a coward. Because in a sense, I look at the bigger canvas. What is the movie? What is it presenting? Then I look at the small controversy, which is small in the light of the full film that you're watching in the end of the day. And 20 years later, when you look at perspective, was the film good? Like whatever film from the past we can take now. There's so many films which are banned, etc., etc. Passion of Christ comes to mind, whatever. 20 years later, not such a big deal. It's no longer such a
Yeah,
scary film. But people died in South America. There was riots, all that. So anyway, so we put everyone to sleep. Thank you for
All right,
watching.
next one. No, next one. We have a few more questions. Gary Pereira asks, I have a big interview this Monday. Any tips or advice?
My first tip is if you
Bring
come
up
to us-
Batman and let
if you come
the
to us for help
interviewers fight amongst
as your tutor to gain a career advantage, are you on any pharmaceutical that is illegal? One. And two, should you really be doing this in public? And three, Abhijit, can you help?
I don't even know what to say, but yeah, I mean, yeah,
I-
best of luck for your interview, man. And
Yeah.
just
I
No,
think-
no,
no,
jokes
say-
apart.
no,
No, the
no.
generic part, which is
Yeah.
like, how's your body language? Come on, guys.
No,
When you
I
go
think,
to
You know what?
see,
I
a
think
great tip
everybody on
right
this
now-
panel is not qualified for this because it's been
For anything.
none of us have
We
been
screwed
into
up
a job
Kashmir.
interview.
We couldn't
I
get
have-
Pattinson's
I have-
abs right.
I have
Niveditha,
thought-
I was a consultant with Deloitte. I've done I've done the whole corporate life thing a lot. Please don't say all this. None of them have a job and everything.
How many years?
Oh.
How many years has it been since you like?
I mean,
Ooh.
did job?
that was not the thing you said. You said that
No,
none of us have ever
that's
had
what
a
I said.
job.
I said
Yeah.
it's been a very long
It's
time. I've
Delhi
been to
Brawn
job
versus
interviews,
Coimbatore Brain.
but
Let's
it's
see
been
who.
a long time.
Yeah, it has been a long time. Fair enough. That's true.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Can
yeah,
you bring
yeah.
up
But
Batman
I don't know
in
what
the
it's like
interview
now.
and then see the interviewers fight amongst themselves? It's a good movie. No, it's
Nothing
a bad
changes.
movie. Guys, relax.
Okay, here's
It's
the
an
question.
okay
But we're like agreeing with each other. A
No,
lot of
I'm
times.
just asking
Yeah.
the generic points. What can you tell Gary anyway? I'm saying that other things like should you be too friendly, too over friendly? How do you dress?
No,
Oh, no,
try-
just
no,
be
try-
yourself confidently. So
What I've heard,
Right?
no,
But it can come across as arrogant. People like us who talk too much, for
he's,
example.
he's asking for attitude-wise advice.
what-
guys.
what I've heard
Attitude
is-
advice.
Yeah,
The best-
what can he get from us? We can't really tell him about his biodata.
oh,
can
he
we?
means attitude-wise, not professionally.
so that's what. Wait. What I've heard is that the best job interviews are those where they don't even ask you about your qualifications, your like
They
what
have
you
that.
no
bro.
what
They
you
don't
will
really
do.
need to.
No,
That's
what
all
you
there.
how like otherwise they'll ask you like, "Acha, ye pen bech ke dikhao." They don't want all
No.
that shit. No, what they do want is to see you how you will gel as a
Your
person, yeah,
personality,
interpersonal
your
skills, and all,
personality is
exactly.
being tested,
So they
nothing
want,
else.
if just make good conversations, what I would say, like,
Like
oh,
the
I
one
like
one thing that really
good tie
helped
you're
me,
wearing.
one thing I followed also and really helped me was
Silverie's flirting with
in
the guy.
interviews. If somebody's asking a question, like we tend to go like we just have to start the answer immediately.
yeah.
Sometimes you can just say that, hey, can I take a minute to think about that, and then go with the answer, because that just
Take
gives
a
a good
minute, no,
impression.
it's too
Also,
long,
that
yeah.
I mean, don't actually literally take a minute
What
after
it means
saying
is,
take a minute,
don't
man.
be
It's
really
never.
abrupt and try to win the contest.
Yeah,
sort of
just
feeling.
like the moment
That
somebody's asked a
over-enthused
question,
feeling, yeah.
jaldi se fastest fingers first wala nahi.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It's
you
like
just
the
say
kid
that,
in class who always
I'll
answers
take a
before the
moment to
question is
think
over.
about that.
Yeah.
Because that just makes them think also, oh, he's he's approaching this not in a hasty manner or something like that, and that's a good thing that I have personally that's helped
Although if
me.
I was a guy, I'm impatient. So if he takes 1 more minute to do anything, I'll be like,
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
correct.
But yeah,
Start-
Antariksh, I did not mean take literally a minute and stop watch me 60.
the KBC soundtrack starts. No. आपके पास
But
एक
what a
minute है.
fabulous scene that would be in a movie.
Trust the
If
customer,
somebody
I'm
says,
kidding,
give me a
I'm
minute, puts the stopwatch on, click.
Yeah, okay. Just go around.
That's exactly what
Going
Batman
the
felt like,
floor.
Cyrus. That's exactly what Batman felt
But
like.
3 hours. 3 hours, not 1 minute. 3 hours.
3 hours of bloody that. Yes.
You didn't say anything. What should Gary do? He's in an interview, behavior-wise. Is there
Oh,
anything?
I said that he should just be himself and confidently. So that's what usually works for everybody,
Mostly
right?
you fail
Like, I
in
mean,
life because you're yourself.
it's like it's no. It's like
That's-
it's like comedians do that on stage where they're
Yeah.
trying to be likable to
Yeah.
the people who are watching. I think it's the same thing with a job interview. You
Yeah.
want the person to like you,
There's-
even if you answer questions wrong.
There's a thing about
But it shouldn't
sexy
appear
indifference.
that you
The word
want the
is
person to like you by trying hard. That's the other thing.
No,
because that
the-
pisses
no,
off.
not
The
the
more
term is-
sophisticated person watching you will be able to pick up that you're trying too hard.
like you've heard
That
of
really pisses people off. I can tell. Huh?
sexy indifference. Like you need to show a little bit of sexy indifference. That's a
Wow.
term that
bring,
exists.
You bring sex
Yeah.
into
Kim
everything.
K
bro.
has been rolled over with
Yeah.
sexy indifference,
Yeah.
guys.
Sexy
Yeah.
indifference.
So you
Thank
need that.
God you
Like,
didn't get
especially,
into
like,
Kashmir files.
but you know what I
Because
mean.
what would you have
Like,
discussed?
see, for auditions, and all, if you ever go for auditions, you know this, Cyrus.
Yeah.
You don't. If you want the audition too hard, they can tell.
Yeah.
Right. And you will never perform well if you want it. If you
Yeah.
want it too much.
Yeah.
You have to be a little a little secure.
I've
Otherwise,
seen a
have some other
guy at
things.
an ad audition when I was much younger.
Yeah.
Because you used to all sit together in those days,
Yeah,
back in the
sure.
90s. 4 or 5 people would sit together. You're watching it
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
And one of the guys would keep asking more and more questions over one line or two lines that you do in front of camera. It was irritating the guy because you're asking too many questions.
Making
These
him
little
remember you.
things, Yeah, you can see he's
Yeah.
canceling you. And you're like, why are you asking me 10 questions?
Yeah.
Should I come from the left side and then talk? Should I turn my head? Just do the damn line.
Yeah.
They're already given some instructions, so that was it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. Abijit, you're the corporate guy. Did you have a job in corporate?
No, I did back in the day. For 5 years, I worked in the corporate.
Where do you work?
Then why were you
Exhausting.
saying that none of us have
Abhijit.
worked in the corporate? You yourself.
No,
have
I
worked
just
in the-
Because
I didn't say none of
Nepotism.
us.
She didn't do a
I
job
said
interview.
it's been a very long time since
Oh,
any
okay.
of us
Fair.
did a
Okay,
job
fair, fair.
interview.
Hey, I like
That's why-
Silverie's question. Was it nepotism?
No.
Dad's
No.
office? What
Nah,
is it?
I studied engineering, so I got placed.
Oh, your place.
Oh, so you did
College,
that.
campus placement.
You did that
Yeah.
without pressure, work
Campus
for a year or two before you changed your mind.
Okay, Ghost Dog has a question. Cyrus, is your son gonna get affected by the professors' union strike in Ontario? Do you know?
I don't
about
know.
that?
Yeah, it's going on, but at the moment, there doesn't seem to be a problem. They have exams coming on in April if you want a serious answer. But what he does is that he keeps sending stuff to my wife and not me and
What?
tells her I can't read it, like stuff he's written and marks and things that he's done. So I'm
Hmm.
feeling very left out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling very
Okay.
hurt. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm the president.
Happens with
you know,
fathers.
doesn't-
Cyrus.
Like, you need to move to Canada for some time as well.
No, it's too expensive. I could go to
got it.
Nepal for a couple of
Oh,
weeks.
yeah,
If
do
that
that.
helps. Meet him halfway.
Okay, Rohit Atre asks, did Cyrus manage to find any new Tibbs Frankie outlets?
No, bro.
But
अपना
that's
area
so
में
very-
वही है.
that's so very-
Outside my office, we had one for 2 years.
You know,
The
there's-
pandemic killed it.
there are definitely ones near the office here in Khar. So we'll call
Yeah,
if you want.
there is, but it opens
There's
at
one on
1:30.
Carter Road, no?
Opens at 1:30.
The
Tibbs Frankie opens at
problem is-
1:30.
No, they never serve you 11:30, 12. Everything is 1,
Damn.
1:30. These are all tips. If you're listening, please.
Yeah,
What
man.
about the guy who wakes up
Open
early?
up early.
The
Check.
bird, I only had this worm. I'd never get
When
a
does Tibbs
Frankie.
open?
How much to eat the worm? Worm, masala, worm with potato, worm in sauce. Too
Yeah.
much worm.
Oh, next one is great. Barnik Bardhan says.
Once when you say next one is great, means all the others were rubbish.
No. This one's even better than the others.
Ah,
Yeah.
much better.
Yeah.
Oof.
Barnik Bardhan
Like
says.
Batman.
Stop, man. Stop. Okay. Barnik Bardhan says, your guest from a couple of months ago, Anirban Lahiri, the golfer,
Yeah.
won $2.1 million last
Did he really?
Sunday. Yeah. At the Players' Championship. Do you think you were his lucky charm because he has struggled for years?
It's clearly
Wow.
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Niveditha, you just do the maths on that. Yeah, he
Yeah.
comes on the show and 6
I
months
can't
later,
wait
8 months
to
later,
win my
$2.1 million.
you will get your job
Yeah,
back.
man.
Where were you working?
I really need to get my job.
Where were you working? Which,
I was
like-
in an automotive. I was in the automotive industry. I worked in Mahindra.
Mahindra.
You could have
oh.
just said Mahindra. No, we all know
Yeah,
Mahindra.
automotive
You wanna
industry.
set it up like automotive.
I didn't want to say Mahindra because I felt like that would be.
First,
Am I allowed to
first
say
is Mahindra.
There
Mahindra?
are 2 Mahindras.
There's Mahindra. Oh, I was in MRV. Oh,
Only
wait,
one
wait.
Mahindra.
there was in
There's
Chennai.
only one Narendra.
There's
That
only
I
There's
can tell
one
you.
R&D
Mahindra had something
department,
to do
I
with
think.
travel also, no?
Yeah,
Mahindra something?
there is a tourism.
Yeah, Mahindra tourism. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Mahindra have the outlets all over. I don't know what it's called. Holiday resorts.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
done-
yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's
it. That's it.
Mahindra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, which is why I had to
Like
specify
Siddharth
Mahindra.
Malhotra keeps coming on those
Yeah.
god awful
Correct.
Also, there's,
VFX ads, like which is so
Terrible.
evident it's been shot at home, but he's
Yeah,
just like, I'm
shooting.
going to
Oh.
do zip line.
Also, there's the Mahindra Blues.
And there's all- they
thing that
also-
they do. Mahindra
that
Blues.
festival. Yes. What are you
yeah.
doing? Are you promoting
know, I'm just
Mahindra now?
saying.
Are they paying for
Mahindra,
this?
different things are
Ma-
doing. Mahindra Singh Dhoni.
Mahindra
I mean,
Singh.
really.
Okay, cool. We'll do this last one. Shack
Hey,
Attack.
Silverie,
685.
Silverie, what was Mahindra and Mahindra's name before earlier, like before like independence?
So it was
I don't
Pakistan,
know.
India.
Are you
One partner was from Pakistan. One partner
Yeah,
was
yeah.
from
What
India.
was the name? Cyrus, do you remember?
Mahi? What?
I
Is it
don't know
Mahi?
details, but I've done work with them, so I had to do all this research and stuff and events, etc. And so I do remember that was very interesting that they had a Pakistan, but there was
Well,
no
basically,
Pakistan. There
earlier it was
uh,
Muhammad and Mahindra, and from that
correct.
it
Some-
became
something
like,
like
yeah.
that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you worked there, you didn't know this.
Whoa. No, I had no idea.
India was a very secular
Wow.
country.
There's so
That's
many
my
things
point.
I don't know, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mahindra and
Mahindra and
Mohammed.
Mohammed. So
Oh,
yeah, it's
okay.
like yeah.
There.
Okay.
All right.
Shack Attack 6285 asks, back in India after 7 years, turn TV on for the first time, random channel, and Cyrus pops up with Bakra. Does Cyrus still get royalties?
What?
Where? Oh, okay. On Tata
Yeah.
Sky, they
Oh,
were
yeah.
playing it. But then we don't get anything. They just do what they want. We don't get
Yeah.
anything.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
like I said, we did 200
is-
shows of
That was such
different
an
things,
influential show.
but only
for
one
Cyrus,
show
yeah.
did well. We still don't get any money. One Indian
Cyrus,
show was
just
actually
out of
failure.
that Dravid prank, I think you should be making millions because the amount of people who just keep regularly watching that Dravid prank only are just
Yeah.
it's just insane numbers. So yeah, you definitely deserve royalty for that.
You do.
Sachin pushes it out a lot. I'm just kidding. Everybody asks that question all the time. I know what is it with people who are famous? Everybody wants to divide them. So it's always big like Sachin Rahul didn't get along, Kapil
Yeah.
Sunny didn't get along. You know, even in music and all, it's like John and Paul didn't get along. Everybody just
Because that's
my
that's
differences are
interesting, no?
mine.
Yeah, it's
That's
gossip.
interesting, no?
Yeah, Cyrus and Kunal don't get along.
everybody, yeah, all of us get along. Like it's a nice, imagine.
In fact,
kind
I
of-
feel like if you're
Mahindra and Mahindra, for example,
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
Mohammed and Mahindra didn't get
No,
along.
stop
That's
it.
Mahindra and
They
Mahindra.
did. The politics came in between.
it feels like if your art form starts getting gossiped about a lot, that means your art form is doing well.
Yeah, तरक्की कर रहे हो मतलब समझ लो.
You know, it's happened to comedy.
अगर
now.
लोग
Stand-up
तुम्हारे
comedy
बारे
is
में
doing
बात
well.
कर रहे हो वाला।
You're a spinner.
Exactly.
You
Exactly,
spin
yeah,
everything.
we-
You come here and spin things for us, man.
Yeah, Abijit got it.
Yeah.
It's from Guru that was.
We
no?
tried to Niveditha, we tried to initiate a fake fight between me and Puneet last podcast.
Yeah,
but,
that was
failed.
very fun. That was very
In the end,
Yeah,
I found
nobody
out
was
that,
buying
that
it.
also did not
Yeah,
help.
You have to be very
Puneet-
successful.
One
for
second, let me
people-
tell you what Puneet,
Yeah, I guess.
Puneet was giving him left, right, and center. I mean, quite aggro, which I've never seen him. In fact, I felt he was being more aggro than Mr. Ganguly. And then we find out that
Puneet was being aggressive.
yeah, not in a bad way, in a
like-
funny way.
like-
But listen,
yeah,
listen,
mouth-
listen.
mouth.
They go back a long way, so they can take liberties with each other. But the funny part in all that is finally it comes out that Puneet owes money to Abijit. I'm like, what? And you're still, I mean, it should be the other way around then. He should be abusing you for your own money. But no. It was hilarious.
My God.
And then they ended with that. We'll meet at Lakshmi Bar.
Yeah,
they
Yeah,
did the
Lakshmi
same
it's a
Bar,
place.
yes.
for a while.
The
Lakshmi
weekend
Bar.
before that, me,
Veg
Puneet
place, by
Kanye
the
and
way.
other comics,
For
Kapoor,
payment.
Sriram, Andy, we were all chilling over there. Yes, and we were doing this same Delhi banter. You know, it's an endless topic. Delhi, Bombay comedy scenes banter. So yeah, it was a continuation of that.
Yeah. And the funny part is now they're going to meet up again, continue the banter, and then he will bring the money that he owes. Wait, I mean, this is the difference between the Bengali and like say the Gujarati or the Sindhi or whatever. He doesn't want to bring it up also. It's okay. It's not so important. Yeah, the paisa. It's not that important. But it was fun. I want to know how that plays out, bro. You got to tell us when that payment is made. We get Puneet back on soon. Yeah.
Just to find out.
Oh, we're done apparently. Niveditha has to
Yeah,
go to a new
AMAs are
job
done, guys.
at Ferrari.
Oh,
Right?
God. They will
Auto-
never
auto.
hire me again.
Well, their name says it twice. Why can't they hire you again? I work for you, Mahindra. Now I want to work for you, Mahindra.
Which Mahindra do you want to work for? That's
This was Mumbai?
so
No,
bad.
Chennai. There's
Chennai.
R&D in Chennai.
Oh,
so that's why
last
he's-
thing has come in. Abhijit and Cyrus' thoughts on UCL.
Ooh.
What is UCL?
Champions League, you're saying, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
UCL.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
UCL.
United got knocked out. Like for 2 days, 2 mornings, like some Manchester team related good news is coming. First, I could get up and get to know yesterday that City drew with Crystal Palace and dropped points. And today, United got knocked out by Atletico Madrid. But I think they played well. I think they deserved, like in the second leg at least, or United, because I saw the first half, then I dozed off because, yeah, I don't
I don't
really
know.
care
I don't know
that
about
much
the whole of
it.
India, but in my area where people I am around, they're all Man U fans. So it's quite
Yeah.
irritating, honestly. And
I
while
think
they
it's a
were down-
generation thing, Cyrus,
Is it?
because United was very
Everyone, bro.
successful then. So everybody was supporting United, and all the good people, decent people were supporting Liverpool. Then, all
Dude,
the
it's
arrogant...
divided. So Liverpool, Chelsea, you could divide between Man City and all the 3-4 divide. 10% of the population, 90% is Man U. At least in my area, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. So the younger people,
Less
now
people
younger people,
support
because
India in my area.
City is winning a lot of things. A lot of younger people have are rooting for City. So it's just like
You think-
whichever teams are more successful, people like to go for that one.
Let's talk
But-
about a young person right now. Sir, who are you supporting?
I support a team called Wrexham United, owned by Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Oh.
Yes.
Best football
Nice.
team ever.
Yes, great.
Fair enough.
They are
Alright.
not even in the EPL. They are trying to qualify for the EPL right now.
Okay, the Comedian Files is over. Watch the movie. Theater next to you. It's our story.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Are we done?
Yes. Sir. Oh,
that
yes.
was-
It looks like, yeah.